Hey everyone, welcome to Zelda Speedruns. Today we have Qualifier number 18 for the Ocarina of Time Randomizer Standard Tournament Season 9. Tracking today we got Tomaltalk, Siberian, Lady Draco, and Yin. And on comms we have Blue Roses and Nastriel, and they will take it from here.
Thank you, Baseball. I am very excited about this restream today. How are you, Nastriel?
Indeed, I am likewise excited. How are you doing, Blue?
Doing well, though it's much later for me than it is for you.
Just a touch, 8 hours or so.
Time zones and the way they work. What do we start with today? We have a scale and ZL start. Anyone else thinking of Zora's domain, river, lake, stuff like that?
It's quite possible. With the ZL start as well, it has some logic implications if we do, say, need to get a bomb bag behind beans or something, but...
Ooh. Yeah, let's hope we get an early serenade if that happens.
Yes. Or, like our last qualifier, that we just have a child spawn right at lake.
True, that was very comfortable.
Indeed.
I mean, we do start as child today, so anything's possible, I guess?
Very much so, and doesn't make you wonder when you're going to check that. That's the one thing I do like about child starts.
Mm-hmm. And yes, I was also thinking Lon Lon into Valley, Lake, Domain, River, Lost Woods. It routes very nicely. Having a scale early is always nice for routing. And starting with the scale, that just blows my mind.
For sure. The other nice thing is if you start anywhere in Kokiri Forest or you get Minuet soon, all of a sudden, because you also have ZL, that gives you a pseudo serenade, although it takes a decent amount of time to get through all those loading zones. And the timer is off.
Loading zones can be a killer. We're starting. I'm excited. All of these runners can mathematically make it into main tournament, so into the top 32. Most of them need really, really high scores though, so we'll see how this goes. There's definitely a lot of on these runners' minds, I'm sure. Oh!
Out of that, we just have a better than vanilla start. You don't have to walk from the treehouse to Mitos, you just start there.
Can we put that lens back into the chest? I really don't want to see that this early.
I would definitely agree with that assessment.
If we get Eponas, we're only one away from Vanilla Crossing, which would be terrible. So we'll see how this plays out.
Indeed. And with starting in Kokiri Forest, we might be seeing a quote-unquote early river play going downriver.
Mm-hmm.
Only issue with that is... Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Only issue with that is, to me, it seems similar to a river opener, and you have to be careful with your time of day on that, because if you want to hit Lon Lon Branch, you start running into trouble also getting to Castle before it's night.
Yeah, and we just received a Lake is Foolish from Quarry, so we'll see how this goes.
Indeed. Runners may want to make their way down there anyways, just to set Scarecrow.
Yeah, we don't know what our dungeons are yet, I believe. If we do, I missed... Oh, apparently we do. We do have to play fire, so Scarecrow might be a good play.
Indeed. I think at least Chuckles was kind enough to pause immediately and check them.
Ah, okay. And our trackers are awesome and caught it immediately. Thank you, trackers!
And in the meantime, a little bit of variation. Looks like Oak is headed to Lon Lon straight away, whereas our other runners are exploring Lost Woods into SFM.
Honestly, I'm a fan of rushing Lon Lon Ranch. You can just save quit back to Kokiri Forest, and possibly have Sarias or something helpful already in store.
Very fair. And if you just get Minuet, then it's strictly a better route.
Yeah. Although I know some runners do prefer like putting off Lost Woods until they can more full clear it instead of potentially having to double, triple dip woods. So maybe he's just going straight for market after this? We'll see.
Indeed. And Piece of Heart off of Talon, so took 5 more rupees than normal, but at least you got some benefit out of it? Question mark?
Yeah. And Ocarina minigame skippers are rewarded today as well. It's only $5. Alright, what song do we have? Epona's song. Uh-oh.
I think someone mentioned that, and I think I saw a Song of Storms behind all dungeons.
Yeah,
along with a
do we need
bolero at
some of
Long.
Storms? Bottom of the well is Jabu, which is... it's AD.
Oh my.
Jabu is in bottom of the well and it's a med. It's our forest med actually, so maybe we have to do all our forest dungeons to get that song possibly required.
We also have a graveyard path to Queen Goma.
Rush Stumpy digging, anyone?
Oh. And an immediate K-sword in the silo.
Ooh. Now, I don't think there's any chance that Oak will be going to market after this. I think he'll be safe quitting and opening up Deku Entrance, which is Spirit Temple.
Agreed, especially with
can...
that K-sword.
Yeah, not that we can do much there, but it's at least worth opening, in my opinion.
Indeed. Just having it open, if you end up with a strength 2, you can consider going in the area, grabbing the hints. Always a question of when to do that, when you have to go that way anyways, but you want the hints ASAP as well.
Yeah. And we can save quit back. On emulator, that's definitely faster than walking all the way back.
Indeed.
Not sure about VC.
Also glossed over it, but we do have a very convenient Big Goron sword from the Lost Woods Bridge Scrub.
Nice. Gotta love it.
Indeed. Kokiri, oh my. We found a lens in Kokiri Forest, and now it's path to Evil's Bane.
Monka S?
Indeed.
Market lights incoming?
Either that, or I wonder where our Requiem is.
Yeah. It was nothing. Tumulta.
And I think that was Zora Domain has 1 major item, which is a little awkward when it's a total of 3 checks.
I mean, technically, it can be in the Storm's Grotto. We don't have storms yet, so who knows what it is. Hopefully not behind Jabu on AD, but... no, actually, we know where Storms is. Storms is on AD, that's why it's AD. Sorry.
Yes.
But that doesn't mean that can't hint something for our lights.
True, with path priority, that would potentially create quite a mess, though, and a lot of information for our runners.
For sure.
So I'm sure most people are by and large familiar at this point with Season 9 settings, but just to fully clarify, hint priority, there are 3 hints that have higher path priorities than your other dungeon hints, and they are your bridge condition hints, specifically the Shadow Medallion, the Spirit Medallion, and collecting the Light Arrows, or the Evil's Bane hint. Any items that are hinted on those paths, well, more accurately, any items hinted for other paths are not required to complete those 3 objectives.
Correct. So far, we only have bridge paths. We have a Bane path and we have a Goma path, which is our bridge in this seed. So we'll see how it's going.
Indeed. And it
Baby
looks like
Shark, it's AD already, so we'll be here for a bit.
But our runners might be enjoying that. Tends to make the points a little bit nicer for the runners, although certainly still very dependent on how well they do and where the items are located.
Yeah. But I have heard that it kind of evens out the points because it's not such a casino-y setup in general.
Indeed, and it looks like runners maybe have some interest in going adult soon-ish. I believe it was on Chuckle's side we saw that Prelude of Time is on the Bolero check, and we got Bolero off of Lon Lon Ranch, so that's a nice easy way once you go adult to have easy access to age changes.
Yeah, that's amazing. I don't know how I feel about that Eponos, though.
It's certainly always awkward. I know that in Season 9 and in other modes, honestly, I'm more happy to never see Eponas than I am to see it early. It just throws more things into logic and makes me question where I should be going.
Yeah, and sometimes it's really nice to be able to skip the requirements of possibly logically getting Eponas by just reversing.
For certain.
So we'll see.
In the meantime, mainly Chuckle's giving us new information. There was nothing on the torches, but hoping that the dive minigame has our major item.
It's on King Zora.
Indeed. Any fans of Paradox Letter?
Ooh, nice. I like the way you think. So far, the seed has given us absolutely nothing except a lens, which is really concerning.
Especially when it's quite possibly a path lens.
Yeah. Oh, and excuse me, and the BGS, but not really the progression you're looking for at this point.
Yes, while I do love it as a convenience item, I will gladly take a bomb bag as one of my first items instead.
Agreed.
Oh, and the
yes,
K-sword.
And the K-sword. Which doesn't really opens up a lot right now because we don't have a child projectile or a chew. We don't have strength 2, obviously, since we just started. I don't know how I feel about this.
But having access to Spirit Temple through Deku Tree will have potentially early logic implications with that lens. If it's market that the lens is pointing to, assuming the lens is path, then nothing comes of that. But with Desert Crossing, knowing your Spirit Temple key logic will certainly help.
Yes. That is definitely always the case. We've had quite a few quals these past few weeks where Spirit Key Logic came into play, where it was strengths hinted or something, and you could just break it by jumping off the hand as a child, for example. It's been very interesting, that's for sure.
Indeed, and we have 3 runners all in CAC at the same time, though Chuckles will be showing us what Dampe Gravedigging gives us, after collecting a few scores.
I mean, you're here, 20 and 10 is unhinted. I think it makes sense to be collecting skulls.
Agreed. Also, Koari showing us our first view, I believe, of Market, unless I missed it.
I think you're right. I think that is our first. Chicken
And
says
honestly,
nothing.
Well, but an early heart container, honestly, even if I see one a bit out of the way, I'm always tempted to get it. A heart container for a potential 2 to 3 hour long seed goes a long way.
That is very true, yes. Skull Mask has a heart container, bottom of the well Volve, and Claim Check is dead.
And I believe the first hint there was Deku Tree to Baronade.
Deku to Baronade. That's interesting. Definitely a key dungeon, Baronade, so we'll see. Where was Decker
Indeed.
Tree
No.
again? Where are the entrances? In Shadow.
And no love off of Dampe Grave Digging. Actually, a little bit of love. 1/4 of a heart worth, as a matter of fact.
I mean, it's not quite a heart container, but it's still nice to have.
Indeed.
Seed is kind of generous with money.
Very much so. Very convenient for the runners, especially those who do subscribe to Team Buy a Shield.
Yes. And Oak waited out time of day here to be able to check Dampe as well.
Makes good sense. Even if you don't think it's anything, that check living rent-free in the back of your mind for the rest of the race is not pleasant of feelings.
Yeah, and it honestly it just gets harder and harder to route in the deeper you go, I think. Because if you have progression or warp songs, you don't want to pay attention to time of day and like try and get your stuff.
Also, it looks like our runners will be needing at least a good amount of Skulltulas, if I read that correctly.
I think you did.
Indeed, we have a mirror shield on 40, and I want to say it was a bomb bag on 50.
Yes, that was a bomb bag on 50. I hope it's not the first.
Very much hope that it's not the case.
I mean, I'm pretty sure mathematically, skull-wise, it's possible to be the first, but I think it's very unlikely that we have to collect 50 skulls for a first bomb bag.
Agreed, especially with runners of these caliber. I am certain that before they're collecting those 50 skulls, they are praying for at least a wallet so that they can buy their own shoes.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to get that mirror shield on 40. There's no way around that. So it's definitely 30 AD and 40 skulls.
Indeed. Also, Kuari, being the first to adult CAC, checked the open grotto and found strength 1.
That is very nice to have. Spirit is getting closer.
Indeed. However, Spirit Entrance got a little bit farther away. I believe I read the hint that Requiem was on Burning CAC.
Yeah, but if you're able to climb through Spirit, key-wise, you might never need Requiem.
That is fair. However, we do know that you need to be there as an adult. So until we get strength 2, I'm going to be holding my breath a bit, because inside of Spirit Temple is Water Temple.
Okay, I can see that. Entrances.
And
what
we
is
have
it?
light.
Spirit. Spirit has water. Water is actually our fire medallion, which means it is logical for us to go through Spirit or cross.
Oy vey. Also, I believe I read that our light arrows are in Death Mountain Crater, which makes a potential lens path very confusing.
Uh-oh. That'd be quite something.
Indeed.
I mean, it could just be like hammer on TCG or hammer in water behind logical crossing.
Very much so. Also, some tricks, I believe, on T's side, trying to get the Skulltula without any projectiles or bomb shoots. Honestly, not something I'm familiar with. It's always good to see this tech, and well done by him.
Looks awesome, yes.
And indeed, SRS business very much could just be hammer in Kokiri Forest Storms, but Storms is behind 2 dungeons with our starting stone, but still.
Behind Forest and Shadow. That is quite the long AD we have.
Indeed.
Chuckles waiting out time of day here to get the song from Lon Lon Ranch. Makes sense.
And thank you, Baseball. Indeed, Foolish Forest.
Oh, I did not catch that.
Likewise, and unfortunately not a dungeon that you can optimize very much by knowing it's foolish.
Yeah, no, you're still probably going to have to open almost every chest to get all your keys, and yeah.
Indeed.
Takes about 12 to 15 minutes depending on how good at execution you are. So that is a long break. Let's hope we don't get quadruple at Forest Temple, please.
But maybe our runners will be able to route it in, give themselves some time to consider. Also, magic on top of Death Mountain Trail.
Well, TCG is in logic.
Perfect.
Crossing is in logic.
Not so perfect, but at least it's not quite in logic yet. We still need hover boots or long shot.
True, true.
Not that that will stop our runners if they decide to do so.
No, I don't think anyone is stopped by the quicksand at this. But it's definitely a Monk ass moment to know where hover boots or long shot away from crossing.
For sure.
Interesting to see the Child Garden City dip here.
Indeed, we do have both ZL and Saria's song, though. So, the Rooney's
Yeah.
Joy question mark?
Yeah, if this pays out and it's like a bomb back or something, that's gonna be huge for Oak.
Indeed.
And not sure, did he pick up the strength? I don't think he picked up the strength from CAC. Otherwise, I know he would be doing the other Garden City checks as well.
Agreed, although honestly I'm unfamiliar with Hot Rodder with a single strength. But on the other side, T in the
no, it's
bottom right
possible.
does have strength 1.
I've seen Oak and Hyper both do it. It is definitely possible.
Makes
Not
sense,
easy,
honestly.
but possible.
Well, I trust these runners better than I trust my own execution, so I can't wait to see it.
Opening up the shortcut here is very nice as well, though.
Very much so, especially because you only have strength 1, so there's no way from the other side to open it up.
Correct, yes.
Also, Koari, definitely a member of Team by a Shield. Well done.
I like it. Shield save you so much time. And we know we're not getting that mirror shield anytime soonish.
Indeed.
That's a bow on Skull Kid.
Indeed, will be very nice for Oak as they go into Adult 1.
I mean, Forest isn't Forest. We 100% need a hookshot to do that. But still good to know.
Very much so. Okay, what was in our Fire Temple entrance? It's Ice Cavern, so we are a bottle away from being able to get another song at some point as well.
Yes. But we do not need a bean for Crater. That's good to know as well.
Indeed. Looks
Though
like...
we did kind of know that our light arrows were not going to be on the volcano.
Oh, come now. You don't believe that a lens would eventually lead there?
No, because it's already in logic with the scale start. And
Indeed.
then Bolero on Hypnotis.
Koari showing some nice skull routing once again, grabbing the Skulltula and Death Mountain Trail behind a rock without even so much as a hook shot.
Very beautiful, yes. All of these runners are definitely high-skilled people that you want to take note of.
For sure, and knowing that Mirror Shield is on 40, routing in any Skulltula you can on the way will benefit you.
And Koari already has a lot of his songs, so he knows that Sun Song is getting more unlikely, or an early Sun Song is getting more unlikely the further in he gets.
Good point.
So-
40 skulls without Sun Song? I'm hoping for better, for our runner's sake. Or at least for their sanity.
I mean, we still have Minuet, if I counted correctly, but yeah.
Meanwhile, it looks like Oak and Chuckles are in market, soon to be going adult, and...
Holding hands.
Yes. T right behind them, doing the same.
Yes.
No love from Link the Goron, sad day.
That happens.
Indeed. And also Oak grabbing the Keaton mask. I don't think they've seen the Temple of Time hint that tells them he's only working
They
towards a
have
heart
not.
container.
They're about
But
to receive it.
But fair enough. It's still very efficient to just grab the mask there. Costs you very little time. And if you never find the hint, it can often be faster to just check it anyways.
Yes. And I know of some people who have very sensitive D-pads. So sometimes it actually saves you time in the long run. If you don't pull out Zelda's letter instead of the ocarina every time you try to play a song.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank goodness for being able to fast equip masks.
Yes. Oh,
And
that's
it's strength.
strength 2 in the DMC wall.
Indeed. So all of a sudden that potential desert crossing is closer and closer via Spirit Temple.
Spirit Temple is coming very, very close. Hammer rocks were hovers, potentially?
We're going to see, thankfully, on T side it again, so let's see that hint.
Yeah, it is.
Indeed,
Hammer rocks
Weirdo
has
Valley.
hover boots. That's interesting. So, Hammerlock's light arrows and hover boots.
Most intriguing.
Unless it's a bomb back behind the lens. In some way.
And honestly, now that we found Strength 2, I am very, very curious about Treasure Chest Game. It could still be just in Song of... Well, could it be in Song of Storm's grave? Didn't we know that Song of Storms is behind Shadow?
Yes, it is.
So, if we're looking for Hammer, it's not going to be in Kokiri Forest itself.
Yep, nope, it's somewhere lens locked. Okay then.
Getting our first look at Goron City Maze via Strength 2.
I mean, it makes sense. You're here. It's just
Indeed.
love, but at least, you know.
And I believe the hint said that horseback archery was effectively dead. It does have eye drops, but Big Goron Trade Quest does not lead anywhere.
Yeah, we're not going to be doing HBA for dead eye drops.
And that
Oh,
was
there's
Nocturne.
Nocturne. Nocturne leads us to Deku Tree today.
And we do know Deku Tree is path to Baronade.
We do know that, yes.
So the question is, where is our Dins?
I mean, potentially we do fire error entry, maybe.
Very
I'd be
possible.
down for that.
In my head, I still consider Deku to be a child dungeon, but our runners are probably very much hoping, especially already having a bow, that they can do it as adult does make it faster.
It does, yes. And having to needing to have fire arrows or dins makes it very easy to do all of the checks in there and then just flame the web, not even having to set up any bow shenanigans.
Indeed. Fingers crossed, though, that we get a long shot. Deku Tree always feels good when you can just skip all of the vines straight away.
Yes, that is so true. And I missed that before. River has the repeat for Song of Storms on AD.
Indeed.
And we did get some chews. It's only a 5-pack. What do you think about that? Like, how sparingly do you work with 5 chews knowing there's a bomb back on 50?
It's definitely always touchy. I'm thrilled that I believe all of the runners at least peaked Death Mountain Crater and hopefully saw the strike too. Being able to do Goron City Maze and not have to spend chews on it is huge when I have a limited number, but 5 is always touchy. I want to save scum them, but you lose a good amount of time if you find more chews or your bomb bag soon thereafter.
Yeah. I tend to save scum quite a lot of them because you just never know when you're gonna find a bomb bag, and it feels so bad to be clearing without explosives.
Indeed. A little bit of trouble on Okishi's streaming end. Sorry, working on that at the moment. And finding a wallet off of the first use of a chew from the Redead Grotto and CAC, that does make me more wanting to just use them. Now that you have a wallet, you can go ahead and it takes a little bit of time, but you can buy more chews. So you do have quote unquote infinite explosives.
Yeah. We don't really want to be using Eponas to get there and buy chews, but having the options is still nice.
For sure.
Because we're not going to see Requiem anytime soonish.
Let's see. Yeah, 3 dungeons to go, one of which being Spirit. Does seem a little bit unlikely to grab Requiem in the next hour. Strength 2 was in the crater wall of Death Mountain Crater.
Yes, and Strength 1 was in Open Grotto and CAC. So actually, that Strength 2 is Strength 1 locked.
Most interesting. Well, is it? Because we could plant a bee.
True. Okay,
Hooray
so
for starting with this.
this.
Yes. Also getting our first look, I believe, at Adult Shooting Gallery, if not one of the first looks. Kowari was in the area earlier, but because they went adult faster, did not have a bow, and it provides a slingshot, first child projectiles.
Okay, Child Spirit is in Logic.
Indeed.
And we're getting our first look at Child Night Market from Oak right here.
Not to mention...
Richard has money.
Nicer than he normally is. And first look at Zora's Fountain and Ice Cavern entrance, which is Dodongo's Cavern. Dodongo's Cavern, 5 chews and 2 strengths. Sounds doable.
It does sound doable, but then all your chews are going to be used up.
At least 3 of them. But yes, get your guesses in chat. Sorry, we are already going to our second check here in Treasure Chest Gate. I'll be honest, I missed what the first one was, but since then it has been left-right.
It was left.
Perfect. Left, left, right, right, left, if I read it correctly. Do not see any winners in the chat. Sad day.
That's a bomb bag.
It is indeed, and it does seem path, with higher path priority for Evil's Bane.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Alright. Though, that bomb bag is going to make it very nice for Oak to be clearing here and even like playing DC and stuff. It's gonna make it much easier than having to use 5 chews. Potentially safe scum them.
For sure. We do know, however, that a bomb bag is not fully required by the seed. Bonchu Bowling not providing anything today.
True.
And while Kuari is continuing into Dongo's Cavern, looks like we're going to get our first Hyrule Castle look over from Oak.
I mean, you have a bomb bag, you have ZL, you might as well while you're here, checking the hints.
Indeed. Also, I didn't bring it up earlier, but having the hover boots being specifically hammer locked, there is a trick to be able to get to the Death Mountain Crater Ferry without the hammer. However, it does require the hover boots, so that is not helpful.
You're
in
also
this seed.
hammer locked. Seed's got jokes.
Indeed.
Alright. And there's nothing in Hyrule Castle Ferry. I swear, if you check it, it doesn't have anything, but if you don't check it, that's when you get in trouble.
Indeed. But honestly, with those two as being my options, I will gladly take the time to turn it off. Since by checking it, you're turning it off, correct?
Hmm.
That's at least the superstition in my head.
Okay, sure. I'm always so scared when people open the eyes with shoes from upstairs. That seems so unsafe, but maybe that's just because I'm not fast enough.
But it is fair. I have had the chews meander their way behind a portion of the lenses, for lack of a better term, and you throw a deco nut and it just won't set off the chew.
That sucks. We did get
And
Minuet in the windmill, yes.
Also, the time-honored method of mugging Skull Kid from Chuckle's side. That way you can buy more explosives if and when you need it, or a Goron tunic.
I mean, while you're here, you might as well, you know?
Indeed.
We're always mugging children, Yin. Ooh, nice trick of shooting the bomb with an arrow to make it explode faster.
Yes. Also very convenient finding Ferore's Wind off of Lost Woods Grotto.
Yeah, that is going to be very convenient with that early magic. And yes, we know that claim check is dead. And yes, we know eye drops are on HBA 1500. But nobody's going to be getting that because the Temple of Time hints say claim check is dead.
Indeed. Also, it was a second ago, but Chuckle's showing a very nice trick. You can use a bow coming from the Lost Woods side into Goron City to shoot quote-unquote through the rocks and make the bomb explode, letting yourself into Goron City.
Hitboxes in this game are only suggestions.
Indeed. First medallion from one of our runners. Unfortunately, I
Nice.
don't believe there was anything in Dodongo's cavern.
No, it was pretty empty. But, I mean,
However,
I don't think anyone's going to skip it with it being in... Well, not quite in logic, but doable this early. Let's put it that way.
for sure, but certainly not holding your breath. Stuff like Rudo's letter is not going to be in there.
Yeah, nope. There's the wonderful reminder that the eye drops are...
On HBA, indeed. Also, we have the second Forest Temple is Foolish hint out of Zora's Fountain.
Okay, okay. Always nice to have a second copy.
Indeed. Looks like Chuckles will be grabbing their strength 2 here in a moment.
Mm-hmm. I think Oka's about to follow him in there.
Would make sense. And I wouldn't be surprised if T is also on their way to Dodongo's if they do have Choose. It's not showing on their tracker at the moment.
By the way, that's a Goron tunic in DMC. Very nicely appropriate place for that, honestly.
Indeed.
So we do know lights are on DMC Ferry.
And very, very hammerlocked with that hover boots location.
Yes. I don't think the game could have made them more hammerlocked if it tried.
Agreed.
And maybe Oak is going to show us DMT Fairy here as well, because he's the only one who has bombs, and nobody else has been going that far.
Indeed, and we can see Chuckles already out of bomb chews, but makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
He has a wallet, he knows he can buy more bomb chews.
Yeah, it's still unfortunate.
Agreed. And I honestly wasn't paying full attention to Chuckles' stream. He may very well have saved, and if he decides that what he found was not worth the bomb chews he spent, can scum them back.
He found strength 2, so I don't think he's going to be safe scumming that.
Would make sense.
Not unless we find a hook shot.
And especially picking up things like health. You tend not to pick those up unless you are planning to keep and not
Correct.
save scum.
Yes.
Meanwhile, I think Kawari will be checking Richard and also checking Treasure Chest Game, seeing where that lens leads to, and also be getting a bomb bag.
It's a little unfortunate for Quarry and T dipping ice this early makes them orphan the major item on King Zora, whatever it may be.
Indeed, trying to think if there's a better way to do that, but with Ganon's castle being behind 2 medallions and finding the light arrows, that's a lot. Yes, get your guesses in chat for Kawari. We shall see what Treasure Chest Game holds.
Ice is in Fire Temple, but we don't have a bottle, otherwise we would have easy access to blue fire.
Indeed.
So I could see one of our runners putting off DC until they actually have a bottle.
Would make good sense.
Especially
But it
since
is a
we
lot of
know
check.
that there's a major item there. But what do I know? Here's Oak going from domain as well.
Indeed, it is a lot of checks, and I believe Lady Draco had the correct layout. Left, right, left, right.
Let's go, Lady Draco!
Huzzah! Meanwhile, honestly, Chuckles getting rewarded for not mugging Skull Kid turns in Richard and fills up his wallet from 20 rupees to 200.
Mm-hmm. Bottom of the well is still path to evolve. Thank you, game.
And bottom of the well is behind our letter, wherever it is.
Mm-hmm.
It is interesting. Let us see. So fire, I believe, is our spirit medallion?
Fire is our... Yeah, it's our spirit medallion.
So it's of the same path priority, and knowing where hovers are... hovers are not going to be hinted. You can't have a path hint towards a sometimes hint, and it wasn't for Gerudo Valley.
Correct. It was bottom of the well.
So it seems like our lens path to Evil's Bane was just to get first logical explosives, and Hammer is going to be explosives locked inside of bottom of the well. Or our letter is explosives locked.
Mm-hmm. That could be, yes. However, fire is in water temple, so logically we're going to need either gold scale or irons and long shot or hook shot respectively.
Indeed, fair point.
So this could be a very deep path potentially.
Along those notes, though, so our higher path priority dungeons are Deku and Fire. We do have the path to Goma from Graveyard. We have the Baronade path from in Deku Tree. So whatever is in Deku Tree is not required to complete Fire Deku and get our light arrows.
Correct, yes.
And I believe this is our first view of Spirit Temple on Kawari's side.
It's not in logic. Well, for Restream it is in logic. For Quarry it is not in logic yet, because he doesn't have a slingshot or a boomerang. But
Indeed.
with the Chew... Go ahead.
My apologies, Blue. Go ahead. You were going to go into exactly what I was going into. That is my fault.
With the Chew trick, we can just get it out of logic here and very perfectly... Oh! The bubble just ended the perfectly there. Get the bridge to fall down so we can get the chest on the other side.
That floating skull, I swear, is probably responsible for more void outs than any enemy in the game, at least against me.
Yeah. I've been told that if you just walk over the bridge instead of rolling over the bridge, it's better and easier not to get thrown off, but in all honesty, I can't tell a difference.
I would tend to agree with you on that.
And Quarry's about to die here if we're not careful, which is... Huh. Gotta be careful here. But of course, Quarry's got this.
He's just practicing his battle royale.
Apparently, it looks awesome.
Indeed.
And that were 2 keys on Child's side already. Logically, we need 5 to jump off the hand.
Although since we have strength 2, I believe you only need 3 logically to jump off the hand, assuming we find... No, even without a fire source. Depending on where those 3 keys are.
You either need fire or explosives. Yes.
Okay.
plus 3 keys. Because either hand, as an adult, lets you jump off. One only needs fire. Well, only fire in parentheses. And one needs explosives with the BMOs. Oh, 07 for
Bit
the quarry.
unfortunate for Kuari. Threw a bomb at the spider and the explosion took him out.
Yes.
Where was magic? It was on top of Death Mountain Crater. So Sphere Zero, or not Death Mountain Crater, Death Mountain Trail, excuse me.
Never
And
mind, I
indeed, good
stand
point.
corrected. Go ahead.
I was just going to, at the same as you had noticed, the child side hand, to actually get to the hand, you only need to pull the block. You don't need the explosives. Or,
Yeah.
not explosives, fire source, excuse me.
Thank you, Neil.
Always trust a Triforce Blitz expert to know the logic of a particular situation. This is something I've
For
learned.
sure. Triforce Blitz runners have the weirdest logic quirks possible in their TFB seeds, so yes, always trust them.
But so far, all of our runners pretty much catching up with each other. Still seeing a bit of new things in Spirit Temple on Koari and soon to be Chuckle's side. Meanwhile, T and Okishi are running through the end of Dodongo's Cavern, which we have seen here on Race Street.
I would be very surprised if they... Well, Oak can't do it because he doesn't have Choose or the Child Projectile from Cack Shooting. So Spirit doesn't make much sense for him unless he just goes for straight adult side. But I could see T going Child Spirit as well.
Fair, and it's always difficult before you get a hook shot to enter Spirit on the adult side. You're just, you get one check, and if it's not a key, you have to leave.
Yeah.
Restream is going well. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
It's going well. Hopefully you are also doing well, Kyrie.
I cannot peek that on Oak's side. No clue what it was in Icy Waters.
Especially, I believe Oak runs on a VC. I could be wrong on that. But I have heard several of the peaks are more difficult on VC. Personally, I run on emulator. Oak's on retro.
I think Oak's on retro arch, yeah. I know
yes.
Kuari plays on VC. Not sure about Chuckles or Chi. Alright, Oak's going into CAC, so he'll be picking up the slingshot from CAC Archery, hopefully.
Indeed. And we'll be getting our first look at the Requiem song, I believe, shortly.
Nocturne was on Minuet, which isn't logic because we got Zaria's very early.
So T going ahead and entering Nighttime Market, going to get their bomb bag out of Treasure Chest Game again. If you wish to have any guesses, I'm sure that it will be coming up in a moment. And on Kawari's side, our first look at Spirit Temple entrance going into Water Temple. Not the best when you're a child.
No. And there's really nothing we can do here as a child, which is just unfortunate, but at least we get the song.
Indeed. We could see a look at the Great Fairy over here. We do have explosives and ZL. Song of Time, probably not what the runners were hoping for, though. Perhaps required, but I'm never happy to see it.
I mean, yeah, perhaps required. GTG is vanilla. We do have access to that.
But
anyone want to see
dungeon.
a first hook shot on Song of Time locked in GTG?
Oh no, and with a path bomb bag. That way.
That is possible, yeah.
But it's a side dungeon. We already know that it's all dungeons, and we have to go into bottom of the well for the path to Volvagi. Certainly the dungeons don't require us to enter everywhere this sea. More bomb shoes off of the Desert Colossus Ferry, I believe.
That is very nice.
Indeed. A bit unfortunate placement, though. Explosive locked explosives.
Yeah. But we do see it quite often. There's a lot of checks explosive locked in this game.
Very much so. And I think Oak is giving us our first view of Hyrule Field that I recall.
Mm-hmm. It's not Path, but I swear Remote Grotto always has something. And we have Ice Cavern has 2 major items. And that is Strength 3 already.
It is indeed. Unlocks 1 check immediately in outside Ganon's Castle Ferry, and when we complete Fire, Deku, and find our light arrows from Death Mountain Crater Ferry, gives us a whole bunch more out of Light Trial.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Fire and Deku don't need all that many items by themselves. Of course, we know that Deku is in Shadow, which needs quite a bit more, and will need a hookshot, maybe Ions or Gold Scale for Fire entry. So, while the dungeons themselves don't need many items, the entrances, the seed for the bridge, do need a lot of them.
For sure.
Oh, that's a nice bomb refill for Oak.
For sure. Unfortunately, not a new item, so the only thing in South Hyrule Field was that Strength 3. Both happy and curious to see it.
Yeah,
and
it's kind of...
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say we might be immediately seeing OGC Ferry, and I believe we are.
I mean, if you find an item like that, especially in what I consider quite a bad area to be, field, because it's just so big, I think it makes sense that you check that.
And chat's having far too much fun with Chuckles, so trying not to comment on it by commenting about my not commenting on it.
Honestly, that is such a hard trick, though. I swear that door frame moves every time I try that trick.
That I do believe. And it's not always the same direction.
Exactly, yes!
Sometimes too far forward, sometimes too far back. Nothing on OGC Ferry, though.
Aww, sad.
Indeed.
I would have liked a nice OGC path, OGC item. That would have been amazing.
I do admit, I can't remember the last time in Standard I saw something on OGC Fairy, but I have a very fond memory of a Triforce Blitz co-op seed where we had a Wanderer Strength 3 to lead to Wanderer First Hookshot on OGC Fairy.
A Wanderer, okay. Sure, yeah.
Thank goodness for shot hints.
The first TFB seed I ever raced, or it was an async race against a friend of mine, and it was not an official race. We were like, okay, let's just do this, and I'll be watching your VOD afterwards to like compare and learn. It had a Wanderer hookshot in icy waters, and my wallet that would have told me that was in Spirit Trial.
Oh, yikes. Fortunately, in that mode, it's a bit easier to get into Spirit Temple. Also, you had talked about Fire Arrow entry earlier, Blue. I think that might be coming to fruition based on Kishi's finding the Fire Arrows in Boulder of Destiny.
Could be. I mean, we don't know what's at the end of Shadow, and we know that we'll have to do Shadow. So it is a gamble to do FAE here.
Well, if Shadow were vanilla, then I would agree. Sorry.
What do you
but
mean?
With Deku Tree being inside of the Shadow Temple entrance.
Well, yes, but I mean, the wooden walls in the back of Shadow, we might very well still be Dins locked in Shadow eventually.
Yes. My apologies. My immediate thought was just looking at Deku Tree and ignoring the fact that at some point we have to do Shadow.
Correct. FAE is not in logic, like not at all. You are still hard required to have Dins for Shadow Temple entrance, logically, but this season is the first season where Fire Arrow entry is allowed as a trick. So it has not come up in any qual that I'm aware of, and we're all very excited to see it maybe come into play, potentially. And yes, it's hinted dead. Is it hinted dead? It's definitely dead, because some runners checked Child Gorn City early.
Indeed. Frogs 2 was hinted at. Also, that's a very bomb-locked bomb bag on Hot Rodder Goron on Chuckle's side. Fortunately for them, they have not been to Treasure Chest games, so that's their first bomb bag.
Very nice for them, very nice. And that is also hard bomb locked.
Indeed.
Logically.
And that does tell us where all three of our explosives are, so based on the path lens, I would assume that we do not have 50 Skulltulas in logic for our third known bomb bag.
Yes, I'd agree with you there. Yeah, T is ignoring Treasure Chest game, which is interesting with a path, Kokiri Forest, and the only thing you found is Lens. But he also doesn't have a Kokiri Forest path written down, so I'm not sure where he skipped that, or maybe he just forgot to write it down.
Indeed. Also, a bit unfortunate that currently T has one Bombchu left, which is enough. However, they are one of our runners that does not currently have the Adult's Wallet out of, I believe it was SFM Grotto.
I think it was Redead Grotto, if I remember correctly.
Yes, you are correct. My mistake.
That's second slingshot, very nice. GTG.
Indeed. At least it explains why the dungeon is not foolish.
Yes. Chuckle's having a bit of a problem with the with the Goron pot here.
Indeed, but I think they got it on this last attempt.
Yep. Ooh, that's gold scale.
Indeed.
Gold scale
Depending on
and... Sorry. Gold scale and long shot will give us fire. Will give us fire access.
Indeed, but still no hookshot to be seen.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Koari getting their bow from Saria Song Skull Kid check.
Hmm.
And it looks like they will be also going with where Chuckles just was. And, well, we'll see. It's always a decision as you're in Lost Woods. Do you go into Goron City as a child or no? Grabbing Ferrari's win for sure, though.
I mean, you want that FW, for sure.
Indeed, and straight into Goron City. Makes good sense. You know it's all dungeons, you're missing a bunch of items.
You can
It's
full
a
clear
decently
it.
done. Mm-hmm.
And here we see GTG hookshotless. So basically, you're being picked up by the floor master to grab the last rupee on the ceiling. And if you stand just correctly, you'll be able to basically collect it before voiding out. And then you can just roll through the firewall and check the chest behind that, which is really cool.
Also, treasure chest game on Chuckle's side will be finding his first logical bomb bag. I didn't catch it beforehand, but 2 lefts for a start. Make that 3 lefts.
Oh?
Team left won't be winning the entire series, though. Sad. It's always fun seeing it all be one direction.
And T hasn't been to treasure chest game and therefore doesn't have the bomb bag, so he is still opening brown chests here to hopefully be bailed out by more chews.
Indeed, makes sense. It's the worst feeling when you have 1 shoe left and you don't want to give it up, but you still want to get the checks on the way.
Yeah, for sure.
Hookshotless GTG, perhaps paying off for Oak.
Possibly. With a bow.
So close. Sadly, already having one, not the best.
But Oak is able to show all his frustration for that chest by just doing a ground jump against it.
Indeed. Honestly, something I've never thought about, because sometimes placing the bomb in front of the door itself, if you then swing your sword as part of setting up your ground jump, if you hit the door, it ruins the whole setup.
I like to do it just left or right of it, so the bomb, when it explodes for my ground jump, will explode the door as well.
And all of the projectiles in GTG, we so far have the bow and 2 slingshots. And agreed, that bow currently that we know of is not bow locked, but
Correct.
if all of our hookshots are bow locked, then yes.
Which would be a little weird with the checks that we have.
Agreed. Think about the only thing that we're missing is Big Pose, and that's because of a lack of a bottle.
Yeah, that's kind of concerning, honestly.
Indeed, still would like that song at a minimum. Plus, we have the major hint that there's 2 major items in Ice Cavern, so it's the song and something.
And King Zora is also locked by a bottle, which also has
yes.
a major item.
well, surely the game will just be kind and provide us blue fire arrows. We have bows, we have magic. One-time game, right?
Sure.
It is a very nice setting that I enjoy being turned on for this season, though. Having the ability to suddenly have blue fire arrows and shoot your way through Ice Cavern is very nice.
Yes, agreed. It's a beautiful setting. Now, BFA on KZ would be devious, Yin.
It's almost as bad as Paradox Letter.
I think that actually BFAs on KZ would hurt more at this point without a bottle.
I mean, I can see it. We could just make it even worse and have the Rudo's Letter be inside of Ice Cavern on top of it. But GTG not coming out with much, unfortunately, for Oak.
No. The question now kind of becomes, where's our progression? Where are we supposed to go?
Indeed. On Oak's side, though, at least I think it's Oak, I believe Oak has fire arrows?
Yes, Oak does have fire arrows, yes.
Yes, they are currently equipped.
Is not in logic yet, though.
Indeed, but can check it. Also, I'm very interested in doing fire arrow entry. It's very dependent on how comfortable you are with it. You can lose a lot of time if you fail it once or twice.
Mm-hmm.
But you know Deku Tree is path on a lower priority path, I admit, but it's still path.
It is path, yes. I don't know how comfortable people feel about fire arrow entry, though. Because while most of us probably practiced it before the season even started, in the preseason, it hasn't come up in most of the races, so I don't know how many people actually kept up their practice.
For sure, and even if you leave it off for, say, a week, it's very easy to mess up one button input on it. Also, speaking from personal experience, at least with the setup I use for it, make sure you have 22 arrows going in and probably at least your full single magic or half of your double magic. Because if you have less than that for either, you may not be able to complete it, and it's terribly embarrassing.
Yeah. You need a lot of arrows and a lot of magic.
For sure. Honestly, my go-to is fill up both as much as I can, save beforehand, and if you fail it, make sure to reset.
Yes, and it's... Oh? Kari was definitely playing Nocturne here and thinking about fire arrow entry. You could 100% see that.
I mean, it has to be on their minds.
Yeah, especially with this lack of progression.
Meanwhile, Oak crossing the desert rather than going through Spirit Temple, more than fair, especially if you're already at the Wasteland chest. Timing is a little bit...
I can't remember if Oak's done Child Spirit.
I would guess not, but I'm not sure.
I think he didn't, yeah. Ooh.
And we are seeing first attempt at fire arrow entry on Kawari's side. This is not the setup I use.
No, this is the free aim. You can do that. I feel like it's even more complicated, but if it works for you, you know, it works for you.
Indeed, and I have heard that it is faster if you are good with the free aim.
The only bad thing about this whole thing is that you still have to be careful, because the fire arrows, the elemental arrows, they will still have that kind of slight delay on shooting fire arrow. Oh no, that was not it.
Fortunate.
But a good attempt, nonetheless.
Yes. This is by no means an easy trick, even if you have practiced it.
It's not easy at all. Are we going for a second one? I think we are.
It does appear that way. I do feel like running in one of these, it's very difficult to turn back on one of your decisions. It feels like most of the time if you try something and decide to, it's better to double down rather than second guess yourself.
There really is not much wiggle room. One shot maybe, 2 shots definitely not.
Indeed, I'm with you, Baseball. Honestly, I have not seen this method. It makes sense and I've heard about it. But I'm familiar with the method from the corner where there's no aiming, it is strictly button pushes, but there's a lot of them and it uses a total of 22 arrows.
I mean, you still need 22 arrows for this, at least. However, some people feel more comfortable with free aiming rather than following the rigid steps where one misstep can cost you the entire setup.
Indeed. In the meantime, well, we got our answer to Oak whether he had done Child Spirit or not, as he is there now.
Yep.
Chuckles finishing up to Dongo's Cavern, which our other runners have been to. And T just now finishing up Child Spirit, and will be getting Song of Time as their reward from Requiem.
Yes.
And yes, always good to note, Siberian, where your keys are in Spirit and whether or not they are fire locked, something I am terrible at.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of this setup either, but I know that Quarry really prefers it over the other one. So...
So close. And hello, Starfall. To be honest, I am new myself on comms. This is my first commentary on ZSR, but as Baseball said, always need more volunteers, so please feel free to apply. And thank you, Palm, for the command.
Palm is the god of commands. Okay.
Good to know. Anytime I have trouble, I shall reach out.
The runners are kind of just crossing each other's paths, so there's not much that we can say at this moment. It's interesting that nobody's checked Adult Spirit, though.
Indeed. You can't check the first check with Hookshot, but with Ferrari's Wind, you can kind of get around the normal... Although, I was thinking that if you drop down as an adult in this main lobby section, you can't get back up without a Hookshot, and therefore the Ferrari's Wind is very handy. However, having all of our runners already completed as a child... That shouldn't be too much of a concern.
Maybe if you don't make the jump back after the hand. But...
Also, GG's to Kawari in Dekutri now. Well done. That
Let's
is not
go,
an easy trick.
Glory! I think it's amazing to see, like, just being able to watch this already makes the restream perfect for me.
And honestly, depending on what is found in here, if we find, say, long shot, hook shot seems less likely to me, but long shot could very well be in here.
Yes, agreed. There is a Rang Deku.
But you never know if there's more. And indeed, guesses for T and the treasure chest game, starting with the right.
I mean, T did find the path of Kokiri Forest behind Deku Tree, so it makes sense that the next time that he is here, he wants to go and check it. And yes, we found a free Zora tunic in the Deku Tree. Not sure how our runners feel about that, but I would assume that our Rang is more pathy than the tunic.
So if I'm not mistaken, the treasure chest game was indeed all right.
Let's go!
And the other nice thing about getting Fire Arrow entry for Kawari, Deku Tree has some very quick Skulltulas you can grab, and needing to get 40. Indeed, thank you, Blue Gifting subs. You are, as always, far too kind.
I mean, you know that completely right is my guess, usually and always. So, of course. I have to give us up at this.
And I think you spoke Adult Spirit into existence based on where Chuckles is going.
I like it.
The nice thing about the first chest, which is hookshot locked on adult side, is while you can't get it as an adult, at least not without hover boots and some very fancy gameplay, that is definitely not in logic, you can at least peek it.
Correct. And right now it would give us a lot of info as well. If this is a key, then we know hookshot has to be fairly early-ish. It's AD 40 skulls. Welcome in. It's not a key, so potentially first hookshot could be here in Spirit Temple.
Indeed. For a moment, I thought to myself, could we potentially see hookshotless spirit? And it's technically possible, but fortunately we have a few more Skulltulas to collect and hopefully find a hookshot before that happens.
Yeah, and the only hookshotless setup I know needs hover boots.
But we know where those are, and we can get within touching distance of it.
We can get within touching distance, yes, but we're not getting anywhere in there yet.
Alas, indeed. Gerudo Valley Hammer Chest, while it looks so close, can be oh so far away.
Yes, for sure. And I don't think we have seen 10 or 20, but yes, we did see Fire Arrow entry from Kawari, which was awesome. It gave us the Rang and the Zora tunic, but other than that, unfortunately, Deku didn't seem to be the play either.
Indeed. However, even just getting the Rang when you know you need 40 skulls does help.
And T just found the second bomb bag on the Rolling Goron. I don't think he's going to be happy with that after struggling with his shoes for that long.
Indeed. Well, and Adult Spirit may very well have something.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see what
do we
this
have here?
is. It is our first hook shot.
That is logically, can be logically first.
Indeed, hell of a pull for Chuckles.
Yeah, for sure.
Also makes just going through the rest of Spirit so much nicer. It's one of the kind of terrible things when you go up to the vanilla boss key chest with no hookshot whatsoever and have to climb the sliding stair wall without a hookshot.
Yeah, that wall is just terrible.
Indeed.
But we don't have our mirror shield from 40 skulls yet, so completion of Spirit Temple will still have to wait.
Indeed. And while Koari does have the boomerang from Dakutri and it will help them get skulls, unfortunately Song of Storms is required to go into Jabu itself, so we need to be completing our 2 remaining stone dungeons before we can actually get progression off of that boomerang.
Correct. And that is Forest and Shadow. And Forest for sure is hookshot locked. Because it is vanilla Forest.
However, we do have now hookshot, bow, and strength for Forest Temple. It's foolish, but it does have a good number of skulls in it.
True, and we're seeing a second fire arrow entry from Oak here. And this is the second setup that has the steps instead of the free aim. So we'll be able to see both setups here in Restream today, which is awesome in my opinion.
Agreed. Honestly, might save this video to my playlist in case I ever want to try one method or the other myself.
Yes. And that was a clean first round. Now we'll come to the second, almost more difficult round in my opinion. Oh no. I think he saved it.
I believe so. My heart was a bit in my throat with that last arrow. No!
Oh! No!
Oh, fair enough. That is not an easy trick either way you do it, as shown by our runners. They are both runners who have attempted this, as well as all of the runners here on Restream, are fantastic. No shame whatsoever in not getting it first try. It is a very difficult trick.
It is a terrible trick, yes, so difficult. But thank you for trying. And
we do appreciate
Qualifier for succeeding.
Yes. Is there a time limit on this trick, or is it a number of shots limit, or both? Yes, it is both.
The torches go out after a set amount of time, so you have to be within the time limit of each individual torch, and you also have only however many arrows your quiver holds. So as our runners have only found 1 or 2 bows, they have 30 or 40 arrows respectively. And we need almost all of our magics of the first bar, so that also gives us some limitation there.
However, despite Oak not getting fire entry on the first time, the good news is their next choice was to go into Adult Spirit Temple, so they will be very happy to find the hookshot here.
Which is going to help him out a lot as well. Hookshots are awesome in this game. At least one of them.
I would argue both for sure. Also, if I saw that correctly, nothing on the Gerudo Valley crate, which is always nice to see. Being able to check that with bomb shoes as you're an adult is very convenient, but very awkward if you find that there is an important item on it.
Mm-hmm. It becomes very awkward, especially since we know where our hovers are. And Quarry is using his ocarina here to take more damage from just one bomb than we usually would be able to. Which is also a cool trick.
Very honestly, I was unaware of it, so always learning here with the Zooter. And Chuckles giving us a first look at Forest Temple. We do know it's foolish, however, it is required, and it does have a good number of Skulltulas that are fairly easy to get.
Yes. And you know you have to do it, so there's no risk in pushing a progression, even though it is foolish.
Indeed. The only quote-unquote argument would be if you knew you were going to get hovers soon, and therefore perhaps could optimize a little bit of it, but the other nice thing about doing it now is you give yourself time to think. You can consider your next move, while basically your hands go on autopilot and get you through the dungeon.
I agree, yes. And you can kind of like try and figure out in your head where do you think letter could be, where do you think hammer potentially or hover boots could be. I like time to think in some cases.
For sure. Oak went ahead and has not grabbed the hook shot yet. Might be slightly frustrated if they end up going all the way to the vanilla boss key chest before going back for it.
Yeah, that's interesting because he does have FW. If he didn't want to like jump off the hand, he could have just like used FW to get back up.
Trying to think maybe saving their magic for something else, and therefore not wanting to spend that amount on FW?
Possibly, yeah. We're getting lots and lots of money here. Quarry now going GGG also makes sense. We know it is dead, well, almost dead, but it's fine. You have a stupid question. Where are the fire? Is that fire arrows in vanilla? It's on shoot the sun. You shoot the sun and the fire arrows drop out of it.
And I'll be honest, I can't remember half of the vanilla locations nowadays. I've played Randomizer far too much and vanilla far too little.
Yeah, Rando does seem to.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Rando do be rando. Does change the way you view the game.
Yes. And it seems to like reprogram your mind as well, in my opinion.
For sure. Meanwhile, we have Koari exploring GTG. Unfortunately, as far as we're aware, we'll only get additional projectiles from it, but Okishi getting his hook shot, so he will be happy to see that. Also, very nice tech there, jumping from the hand straight over to the Skulltula token, and therefore not needing Scarecrow Salt.
Yeah, I did not know that you could do that.
Indeed. I knew you could do it from the other side, but I haven't seen anyone do it for the Skulltula token.
And Oak is going straight into forest, even though he does know it's foolish.
Indeed, it just needs to be done. Meanwhile, T is getting their fire arrows. Now the question, Do you try fire arrow entry? Certainly, probably just go on autopilot, go wherever you were planning to go at the time, but you have to ask yourself that question.
Yeah, you really do. I mean, dints might never be required with the tricks that we can do, even though, of course, logically it always is for shadow entrance. So yeah, we'll see. Have a good
And
break,
as you
Tom
had,
Attack.
indeed. And as you had mentioned, Blue, it is dependent particularly upon that Shadow Temple key layout, or potentially major item layout.
Yeah.
But by and large, our runners are just retracing each other's steps, with the exception of Forest Temple on Oak and Chuckle's side. Excuse me, I believe Chuckle's being ahead. However, Forest being foolish, not expecting to see anything too terribly exciting in here.
Yeah, we're not gonna be freaking out over chess unless you're wanting to freak out over Nehrus or something.
Indeed. Hard-toasted tornado, you are far too kind. Oh, you were talking about Blue, not me. Yes, I can see that.
It's Nastriel's first time on ZSR, so I'm very excited.
Indeed. Blue is kind enough to hold my hand while I have stage fright about this, so I very much appreciate it.
I doubt you have any stage fright. You are a TSG veteran. I'm only glad we can steal you.
I definitely still have my stage fright, I assure you. T finding the adult's wallet. Unfortunately, not the best time for it now that they do have a bomb bag. I am thankful they have a bomb bag, but at least from what I've seen in in Season 9 settings, when you find a wallet, if it's before bomb bag, it's amazing. If it's after bomb bag, generally I would rather have seen anything else in there.
I mean, maybe not anything else, but yes, even a bottle of the seed would be very much appreciated.
Indeed.
And I do love having the BGS early, though. I think it makes Forest so much better as a dungeon.
Yes, it makes so many dungeons so much easier. I think the only one that I find it very awkward in is Fire Temple, because of the weird way that flare dancers count damage.
Yeah. I mean, you know, they probably had a thought behind that. Most likely.
I will take your word for it.
You don't think they thought about that?
I assume it took the same amount of thought that the damage that a Deku stick should do took.
Fair. Okay.
Not that I'm complaining, considering the fact that Zelda Randomizer, you often start with sticks and rarely nowadays, at least in standard settings, start with a Kokiri sword. I'm very glad that Deku sticks are the one that deal double damage, because if Kokiri sword dealt double damage relative to Deku sticks, it would be a much more exciting grab, and I would be very sad to not start with it every seed.
Yeah. But I think if we started with K-Sword, the first objective would be to farm sticks.
That would make sense. Or one of my personal favorites, using a boomerang on the Deku Babas to farm sticks.
Alright. Quarry is almost done with GTG, so we'll see where he's going next. I feel like Spirit would be a sensible play for him as well. Unless he wants to go and do a bunch of overworld checks.
Indeed, I don't see a terribly dense skull location to try to get up to 40 skulls even with a boomerang, because I suppose if you're trying to be as efficient as possible with your routing, ideally you could get the mirror shield before going into spirit in the off chance you can complete it, or if you're comfortable doing hookshotless spirit temple.
Yeah, I can see that. I think with boomerang and hookshot, we should have 40 in logic.
It would certainly seem so to me, but I'll be honest, I am not up to date, and missing a bottle is a bit awkward.
Yeah, and definitely it's not a lot over 40, I'm sure, and it would not be pretty. Yeah, Siberian Tea is doing well on the overworld checks. Hasn't been paying out all that much though, so you'll be forced to start dipping into dungeons here in a bit. There's almost no way around that.
Looks like Kawari will be checking Haunted Wasteland. Unfortunately, I believe it was some health in a chest there. But it does provide another Skulltula token, and then you can complete Crossing, and if it's near nighttime, get another 2 Skulltulas from Desert Colossus, being at 40 skulls, and as you mentioned, Blue, the limited number of skulls, it could be weighing on his mind, where am I going to get all 40 of these?
Yeah. And we did see that Wasteland was only a dead chest, so... that's gonna be interesting. Oh, double magic here in Forest.
Oh, and I forgot, Kawari does not currently have the hookshot, so unfortunately not able to collect on these skulls.
You could actually get that skull with a well-placed jump, ground jump into jump slash, but it is a pain to get, let me tell you.
I would believe it. Also, very good point. We have double magic in Forest Temple, Foolish Forest Temple.
Correct.
So I very much believe that hookshot that we found is hookshot 1, because to get in here, apparently all hookshots are magic locked.
Yes. That magic has to be hard magic locked, logically, because the game is basically saying this double magic can be foolish because you're guaranteed to have a magic coming here. That's the only way a progressive item can be, like another bomb back or another bow, it can be in a foolish location if the game is expecting you to already have that item.
Indeed, although I did just reconsider and remembered that our first logical bomb bag is behind a treasure chest game. So having that be magic locked is far more reasonable, considering all explosive lock checks are also magic locked.
Yes. Magic was on top of DC 0, yes. For right now, we can't get the hovers. We know where they are, but we need the hammer to break the rocks in front of the hovers. So right now, he could dip Shadow, that is true. But that's only going to be 2 checks.
And currently the only hint we have that might point to our hammer is our bottom of the well path to Volvagia path, but that could just be for Water Temple entrance.
Yeah. It could also be that one of the first checks in Shadow has your Ruto's letter to get into bottom of the well to have a hammer.
This is true.
There is a world in which that exists, which is basically vanilla hover boots then.
It's even worse, it's vanilla hover boots on a stick.
Yes. It's vanilla hover boots with a with a chase.
Yes.
Yeah, 40 are. I think they are in logic, but they're going to be really awkward if that's what the seed is expecting us. But then again, we have to keep in mind that the seed does not care how awkward it's going to be. The seed only cares whether we can get them or not.
So what you're saying is Mito doesn't love me? Drat. Meanwhile, T getting the good news that there is a big chest in here, and we'll soon find out that it's a hookshot, but had a little bit of debate there. Do I really want to jump down? Oh wait, I have Furoris. Yes, I can jump down. I can grab that chest.
I think that was the peek to the other chest first.
Ah, that would make sense.
And hookshot! Let's go!
And another using the big chest to jump over to the gold Skulltula token.
I'm definitely going to steal that.
For sure. Kawari being right behind him, finding the hookshot momentarily.
Which is going to be interesting because I feel like T has done a lot more overworld than any of our other 3 runners. But maybe that's just me.
And I'm honestly not sure myself.
But Chuckles is dipping into shadow, it seems.
Nice thing about dipping shadow, even without hover boots, is it practically is the same amount of time walking back as it is to reset after getting the first 2 checks, at least on emulator. On VC, probably a bit slower. But running out of places to look, so hoping for the pseudo vanilla hover boots or similar here.
We'll see what this has or doesn't have, because if this doesn't have anything, what kind of progression do we actually still have?
A good question. We're still a wallet away from being able to buy Blue Fire, even if we had a bottle, but fortunately that won't come up because Ice Cavern is available once we get a bottle or Blue Fire arrows. We have full clear GTG. We're on to terrible locations. I'm not sure we've seen 20 skulls so far.
No, I don't think we have. And Oak is way too fast with clicking his text boxes that I can never see what. That is our first bottle in Shadow. That is a big toe that we can immediately turn in. That gives us KZ and all of Ice.
And it is on the vanilla hoverboots chest.
Yep. So it could be vanilla hovers with a chase. Okay, 16 skulls. Thank you, Tom.
And Oak also noting that its Foolish Forest Temple decided not to pick up the big chest in Forest. Not a big deal, certainly does not need that second magic, and the info from it is limited due to the bomb bag being magic locked.
I mean, yeah. A lot of our stuff is bomb locked, and that is magic locked, so yeah, that's not any information that's gonna help him.
And first look at 20 skulls.
20 is nothing. Okay then. I think that bottle will open up our progression.
Would make sense. Also does put a lot more Skulltula tokens into logic to get to that 40.
Yes. I would play Prelude, turn in the big pose, and go Ice.
Fire arrows were on Boulder. Sorry.
Go ahead.
They were on Boulder of Destiny, right next to Market in Hyrule Field.
Oh, I rarely get to see this goal.
It is a nice one. Honestly, it being close to CAC, sometimes on your way to your last, or on your way to turn in Skulltula tokens, it can be semi on the way, but still feels a bit bad to grab because I feel like I only grab it if I need 30 plus Skulltulas. 20 or less, it's always too much trouble.
Yeah, that checks out. And this will be fire arrows for Chuckles. But honestly, it's wild. We are almost 2 hours in and our runners have completed 2 of their 8 dungeons.
Indeed, and one of them was foolish.
Yes, one of them was foolish. And we're still gonna see ice, we're still gonna see bottom of the well, and every other main dungeon that we have. So we're going to have every dungeon in this game.
Yes. Nothing
Okay, Big Pose is
directly
dead.
on Big Pose. Yes. But it does free up that bottle for us.
Yes, for sure. An Oakland child, interesting.
And
When they
we
said
are
all, they
seeing
meant
a
all. Yes.
We're seeing a third attempt at Fire Arrow entry, despite the fact that Chuckles has the bottle. Deku Tree is still path, so it makes good sense if you're comfortable with
Yeah.
it. Fingers crossed for him.
Fingers crossed. He does have double magic. We still only have 30 arrows though, so that's still gonna be a limitation that we'll have to see. And grass does drop arrows in, but it's not 100%, that's for sure.
Indeed. In this little intermission where he switches to normal, we also saw Oak grabbing their gold scale.
Correct. That does mean we could do gold scale entry with a hook shot, but I feel like with fire being hinted, I don't think anyone's going to dip that without without hammer.
More than fair. Holding my breath on Chuckles for the moment. I think it's good, but I said that last time. And this, it is good.
Got it. GG's!
Indeed.
Well done, Chuckles.
It would certainly be a lot more appealing to go into Water Temple entrance and start fire, see what you find there if you had Serenade. But without that, it's one hell of a hike when you can't full clear it. You do have Furores that you could set in there, though.
Yeah, but most of our runners set their FW in Spirit, and I don't know how inclined they are to actually let go of that one.
That is fair, especially knowing where the 40 Skulltula reward will put you in quote-unquote go mode for Spirit, so you know it's on the way.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that was a rang in Deku Tree.
And it fits very well for our Deku Tree's path to Baronade.
Yeah. I don't think it's gonna be the Zora Tunic. It could be, but I doubt it.
I mean, all we need, now that we are able to fully complete Forest Temple, is for our hammer to be locked behind a Zora Tunic.
Oh no, please no.
Or potentially Dins. As Shadow Temple is what we need to enter Jabu at this point.
Yeah, could be. Alright, Quarry and Forest has some thinking time.
And indeed, Siberian, one of the rare use cases for Ferrari's Wind and a hook shot, using those two in combination to raise the water level for Central Pillar and Water Temple and collect an extra Skulltula token.
Yeah. That would be kind of terrible. I do have to agree with you, Baseball. Oak setting his FW here in GTG to have easy access back to the hammer. I kind of like it.
More than fair.
We do have minuets, so it's semi-quick to be back in Spirit. But getting back to GTG is always quite a hike.
For sure, and since you know you need to go to Gerudo Valley Hammer Chest,
Yeah.
that is as close as you can get.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, if you can collect skulls out of logic and it's quick and easy, you will most likely get them. I don't think I've ever seen any runner who went who went down DNT and was like, oh, you know, the skull isn't in logic, so I'd better leave it there.
Also, a little bit of fancy tech on T's side, using a hookshot to jump over Forest Temple into the well and therefore not have to climb the little ledge. It's a small time save, but the more of those you can do, the more they add up.
They do really add up, yeah. It does show us how good our runners are.
Also, thank you, Neil, for the information, because I'll be honest, I was unaware that that particular Skulltula token in Water Temple had been classified as a threat. So thank you.
Oh, it has. Yeah, didn't know that either. Alright, Chuckles is now in ice.
And we have a bet from chat that Dins is in ice. It could be the case. We do know that we have two major items in Ice Cavern. One of them is the song.
Though I think at this point, Dins in here would be the worst case possible. You'd rather see Ruto's Letter, Hammer, something that gives you more checks than what Chuckles already achieved by doing the fire arrow entry.
That is fair, but since things like the Stone of Agony or Paperweight are considered major items as far as the important items checks hints are concerned,
yeah,
even a Dins I would be somewhat happy to see, to be honest.
Okay, yeah, I meant the worst case of our actual progressive items. That is fair. You don't want to see Dins or Nerus or something weird like that.
Also, we have found our hammer. Okishi found it on top of Gerudo Fortress roof. Our other runners have not been able to get it, even though many of them have gone to GTG, because no hookshot at the time and or no, whatchamacallit, Scarecrow song set at the time.
That's awesome. He's gonna get the hovers, and I bet he's gonna jump down and do the gold scale hookshot entry.
It would certainly fit. Also, a bit icky, that means that this seed you have no Serenade and you are hard required to set Scarecrow Song.
That probably means I think he picked it up. Tom? I'm pretty sure he picked it up, even though he didn't track it. I'm pretty sure that long shot isn't bottom of the well then.
Well,
or it might be iron boots as well, sorry.
Very much so. Also, I should say hard required Scarecrow is dependent on the long shot location. You can reach the chest on Gerudo Fortress roof with a long shot. Also, I don't remember who it was that said it, but someone had mentioned that Ruto's Letter could be an ice cavern.
That's quite something.
Yes.
We have Ruto's Letter and the hover boots. Let's go.
Oh my goodness, the things you could have done with the paths on this. So far, as far as we know, we have a path Big Poe bottle to get Ruto's Letter.
Yeah. I mean, Shadow Temple isn't Path. Which is where we found the Big Po bottle.
Indeed,
Or am I
but
misremembering my hints?
no. 100%. But just thinking that if it would have been hinted. However, as you predicted, Blue, we are seeing hookshot entry with gold scale.
Let's go. I have such a hard time with this trick, but it's so cool to see, like, if somebody can pull it off.
And beautiful setup from Okishi.
Beautiful, executed, yes. Let's go. We've seen so much cool tech. We've seen 3 attempts at fire arrow entry. 2 of them worked. We have seen the gold scale hookshot entry. Love it. Absolutely love it.
Indeed. Sometimes curse seeds make for the best for restream.
Yes. Getting a magic refill, very nice here.
So, as Koari and T continue to go through forest, which definitely has to be done at some point, perfectly right of them to do so, but unfortunately being foolish, not much new information, only the magic in the basement, which we'll see if Koari decides to grab or not. We now are getting new information about Fire Temple over on Okishi's side, and we find Serenade being vanilla in Ice Cavern.
Serenade is cool.
It does certainly help with setting that Scarecrow song. I'm honestly not sure if and when our runners have set Scarecrow.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. Like, obviously Oak has, because we know he had to do it. But I can't remember if the others have even been to Lake, since it's foolish.
Indeed. And as noted by chat, now that we have Arudo's letter on Chuckle's side, bottom of the well is path to Volve. Let's go find out what's there.
I would guess it's irons or long shot.
Would make good sense. Can't think of much else it can be now that we know where the hammer is.
And yes, we do not have suns yet. And there was another question. Oh, and happy 2 hours.
Indeed. Suppose we should actually do thank yous. What do you think, Blue?
I love it. You want to do it or you want me to do it?
Well, I'll get us started off with it at least. Thank you to our runners. Thank you, Okishi, Chuckles, Koari, and T-Grenadier for letting us restream you, showing off all these awesome tricks, especially in this particular seed, and giving us something to commentate on, watch, and track. Thank you to our trackers. Thank you, YN, Tomaltech, Siberian, and Lady Draco, keeping us up to date, keeping chat in the loop as far as who has what, because heaven knows I wouldn't be able to do it myself right now, just based on my memory. Thank you, Blue, for co-commentating with me here in the booth. My first time here, not knowing what I'm doing, I really appreciate it. Thank you, Baseball, for putting on this restream, making all of it possible. And thank you, chat, for keeping us honest and making everything exciting.
And for being here, of course. And thank you, Nastriel, for being here. You're doing awesome for your first job for ZSR Comms. Yes, yay, volunteers! And if you would like to volunteer, we're always looking for more trackers, commentators. Feel free to sign up and come join us, because we have amazing people behind the scenes here. Also, did you catch that beautiful setup to get the skull from behind the Song of Time block?
I'll be honest, I saw that he had it, but I missed the setup. It is quite a fun one. Being able to not play Song of Time saves a bit of time, and sometimes, if you don't have Song of Time, is hard required if you need that Skulltula.
Yeah. But it was absolutely beautiful. Take my word for it.
Most certainly, and knowing Oak, no doubt in my mind about it.
He did an ESS turn plus setup and into a roll jump.
Oh wow, I have not seen that setup. My personal way of doing it is just facing the proper direction, and I want to say that it's a few side hops and backflips. I want to say 3 side hops, 2 backflips, but it's been a while.
I just try and do it like an SFM jump, lining it up that way.
Makes sense. And as long as it works. In the meantime,
sometimes.
well, let's face it, anything that's not certain, it's a 50-50 chance. It works or it doesn't.
Correct, yes. More
Meanwhile,
fancy tech in Fire Temple.
Yes. And Koari will be finding their big Poe bottle shortly.
Let's go. Also, am I the only one who still has KZ on their mind? With that looming major item on KZ?
To be honest, I forgot about it, and now I wish I still would have forgotten about it.
You're welcome?
I do appreciate it. But what on earth is it doing there?
Yeah, well, you know. Chuckles didn't keep blue fire for it? Uh-oh. He might have forgotten as well.
It's quite possible. A lot going on in this seed. I mean, oftentimes you have a Season 9 seed that is over by the 2-hour mark, at least for some runners.
Yeah, with the dungeons we still have to do, this could potentially go to the 3 hours and over.
Indeed.
And we're getting bottom of the well skulls. Let's go.
Well, if you have a boomerang, they are here. Just
They
have to
are,
collect
yeah.
more keys.
I mean, a bottle would make sense. Bottle lock bottles seem to be a lot in this seed. Otherwise, we would have probably found a few more.
Indeed. And I want to say it was back in Season 7 we had drafted settings for Standard, and I believe there was a qualifier that shuffled dungeon skulls, and in particular you had to get that particular Skulltula from bottom of the well for a major item.
Oh, wow. Okay. Nice. Chuckles nailing here the jump slash. Twice on Dead Hand. Nice.
Indeed. It's a small optimization, but every single one does add up.
And I mean, this way, Chuckles did not have to wait and could basically one-cycle him. So, that is definitely time save.
Indeed. Meanwhile, not to be outdone, Okishi, I saw at least one gainer using the hover boots to great effect to maximize, or in this case, minimize their time in Fire Temple. Also, we're getting to the end of bottom of the well, and I don't believe I've seen much in the way of major items, at least until
There's
that big
one.
chest behind the like.
Yeah, we'll see. Could just be chilling in the basement.
True. I haven't been counting my keys, something that
I haven't
can
either.
occasionally let you skip that check.
Oh no, rip shield.
Indeed. Sometimes Keys, the worst mini boss in the game.
For sure, yes.
On the bright side, though, now the like can't take your shield.
Yeah, but you'll have to fight the light for the chest.
This is true. Also, there is
Long
our
shot
long
does
shot.
make sense.
And honestly, could be good news for Chuckles, because now, not knowing the status of Scarecrow Song, Hammer is able to be gotten without it.
So, since you're much better in logic than I am, if we have a long shot path to fire, does that mean our iron boots are going to be in fire because of path prio?
They could also be behind Fire Temple, but certainly I would not be expecting to find them anywhere else. I hadn't thought of that. Very good point.
Okay.
Because indeed, to enter Fire Temple, all you would need is either the hookshot and iron boots or the long shot and gold scale. So the long shot in particular having to be path means that iron boots should be behind that long shot in some form or fashion.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, Fire Boss Key was indeed on Pierre.
I like the skull
However,
clearing, though, of fire.
Yes. Blue, you enjoy a full clear of deep fire? I don't believe.
I know, it's incredible. Fire might just be my favorite dungeon, for those of you who don't know. And I might have a small reputation for that.
But especially this season for qualifiers, Fire Temple has held a lot of very important items.
Lots of iron boots, if I remember correctly.
And a few strengths.
Mm-hmm.
Kuari finding Naruto's letter out of Ice Cavern.
Yeah, I know I've been playing Dungeon ER for over weeks now, but finding letter in Ice Cavern or in Jabu is just really weird.
For sure. And indeed, that was, I believe, Chuckles going back to Ice Cavern, specifically to get Blue Fire to unfreeze King Zoro.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, Okishi with a very nice Volvagia fight. Not the most difficult in the world once you have a Goron Tunic, as even if you mess up the quick kill, it's not too terribly punishing, but it's still time save getting that quick kill. As our runners approach 40 skulls in that mirror shield.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Chuckles doesn't know about the hammer on top of Fortress, which is kind of bad for him right now.
Indeed. Hopefully he picked it, I'll be honest. I noticed several of the runners peeking that chest while they were here going to GTG, but I couldn't swear to all of them doing so.
Yeah, but also, like, you noted down, but then you're like, okay, that's not an area I'm in again, though, so when do you go back to pick that up?
Well, clearly when you need more Skulltulas, as T. Grenadier gets his 35th from Fortress.
I like that. This is a tricky Scarecrow. You have to, like, hug the edge there.
Indeed. But well worth the reward.
Yes, for sure. T doesn't look too happy about that, though.
I mean, a 2 hours, 11 minutes hammer for your third dungeon completion? I can't blame him.
Oak checking skulls while Chuckles is checking King Zora.
Indeed. What is our major item here?
Oh my word! Somebody said it earlier! Blue fire arrows on King Zora! Oh, that is terrible!
So I believe that comms may have jinxed that into existence, although at least what I had in my own head was Paradox Letter was behind those blue fire arrows. In a way it was.
That is terrible, though. I apologize to our runners.
And yes, YN, my apologies. I think you were the one who called it straight out. So well done. Also, please don't call things when I partake in future seeds. Please and thank you.
Or only call good things. This is terrible.
Something.
And T following in Oak's footsteps, I really like it.
Yes, also lets us get to see these amazing tricks again.
Yes!
What items were in ice? We had Rudo's Letter and Vanilla Serenade in Ice Cavern Baseball.
And blue fire arrows on King Zora. In case you missed that.
So about as close to Paradox Letter as you can get without being Paradox Letter.
Okay, just making sure.
And very nice on T's side, getting that gold scale entry with Hookshot.
Now, everything that Oak is doing is technically out of logic. Well, actually no, because the hovers are still in logic.
Indeed, I don't think we pulled anything out of Fire Temple.
But this is going to be his first bottle. I don't think he's going to be leaving Shadow, though. He's going to push progression, or I'd assume so.
For sure.
At least until the boat.
Yes, once you get to the boat, depending on how many keys are still required, 0 to 2, you always have a decision to make.
Yeah. With Slow Boat being enabled this season, that is quite the commitment that you make to ride the boat and maybe find out your din's locked.
Also, indeed, a very fast water temple, boss key almost immediately. To be honest, I didn't even see Chuckles. I saw Chuckles inside of Spirit Temple. I did not see him actually jump off the hand and enter Water Temple, and he's already going to Morpha.
He was very fast, yes. But then we do know that he's cleared Spirit already, so he basically only walks through it.
Indeed, and having long shot speeds it up even a little bit more.
Correct.
And a
Ooh,
very
nice
nice
catch
quick
there.
save. Yes.
Alright. What does Morpha have for us? Just a refill on bombs. Do you clear water here? What do you think?
You could. I mean, clearly we're biased having restream information. It's not dreadful, but you don't have iron boots at the moment, so it's all out of logic. Therefore, I agree with this decision. You have better things to check for the time being.
I mean, if your Dins is in here, though, that could be bad.
It very well could be. But until you find those irons, your Dins may lock your irons. So if that's the case, then you're just wasting time in there. You've already seen 1 out of the 4 checks available. I don't see it myself.
Okay, that's fair.
Dins could be DMC Fairy. I think we know in particular DMC Fairy is the light arrows, if I'm not mistaken.
They
But
have
otherwise,
to be.
yes. Thank goodness for the new Dampe Diary hint, where you know at least what region your light arrows are in fairly early in most seeds.
It's such an improvement over S8, in my opinion. I love the Dampe Diary hint for light arrows.
Indeed. Also in Shadow, finding our boss key before arriving at the boat means that one of the 2 keys that can potentially be DINS locked is found, which is very good news.
Yes, for sure. Alright.
And indeed, Ramon, I am seeing what I can do on ZSR for a change. They were kind enough to put up with me.
Chuckles, no need for tricks. He can just do the actually in logic long shot plus gold scale entry.
Indeed, and even if you're comfortable with the trick, it is just faster using a long shot, so a little bit of a time save there.
Yeah, for sure. No side hopping and rolling and trying to hidden hitbox.
And oh goodness, we have more quote-unquote terrible predictions in chat. Having to defeat Bongo to get your DINs and go back into Shadow.
That'd be quite something, soy sauce.
Meanwhile, we do have, not knowing on Scarecrow whether it's been said or not, if you do go into Fire Temple with a long shot, you can use Pixel Shot if you are familiar with it, and I would not discount any of our runners from being able to do Pixel Shot.
No, I think they can pull it off.
Trick is, for that Pixel Shot, you do require the long shot in particular. Fortunately, if you are in Fire Temple without the long shot, you certainly use Scarecrow, because you want that hammer, and you either need Scarecrow to be set or long shot in this seat.
Yes. You're not getting around that. Like, you need one of the two. But as we can see, Longshot does have creative uses as well, for skull routing, for example.
Indeed. I'm always astounded by what you can reach with a long shot. My apologies. Things like Zora's River, the first Skulltula on your way up as an adult, you can reach it from so far below.
Ooh, nice use of the bomb here to kill the skull.
Very.
Yes, 10 and 20 were dead.
And indeed, chat pointing out Chuckles has not seen the hammer?
No, he has not. He might have forgotten about the chest, or forgotten it existed and not even peeked it.
Indeed. Fingers crossed that is not the case, but he was about as close as he could be and did not go all the way back to Fortress, so we will be holding our breath on that. Fortunately, he does have many things to do in the meantime, most notably getting to that 40 Skulltulas.
Yeah, and he's almost there. 5 more skulls.
Also, I could be wrong, but I think that was the last key we needed in Shadow Temple, so Shadow is not DINS locked.
That's awesome to know. Unfortunate for Oak, though, because he knows he failed the fire arrow entry, so the question I think I'd ask my runner, I'd ask myself as a runner is, do I go back and try fire arrow entry again, or do I go and look for DINs?
Indeed. My guess, just based on my own personal preference, is if there's a trick that I'm not 100% on that's giving me a bit of trouble, if I have progression to do, definitely do your progression first. But once that progression is done, I've got to try that trick at least one more time. Gotta redeem myself.
That makes sense, yeah. And I like the thing. I like that Oak is pushing the block here. While it might be a little slow to push that block, if there is a major item locked behind the wooden walls, you want to know about it and you want to have the shortcut set.
For sure, and therefore, in my opinion, very worth the time to at least peek those chests, even if you can't actually collect them.
I would agree, yes. Otherwise, I think it's a hard last location to come back to Shadow to check those checks.
Indeed. In the meantime, Koari finding their hammer, fantastic.
Nice, well done. They can set FW there, but then they won't have its use until they get rid of the point of the FW there in Shadow. So they're not going to be able to do time saves in dungeons. They're not going to be able to set it anywhere else, which can be a little hindering for the runners. So I think pulling the block is smart, even if you have FW set, because then you still have the option of resetting it basically somewhere else.
Agreed. Also, with some settings using fast boat, seeing a bunch of jump slashes on Okishi's side while on the boat. Fair warning, if you have fast boat on, which is not true for Season 9 settings, and you do some of those jump slashes, you can fall off the back of the boat because it does move that fast.
Yes. It can be terrifying.
Indeed.
I believe those were both small.
I'll be honest, Oak is too fast for me. I couldn't tell for sure.
Yeah, that's a mood.
Another rare Sculptula to see. Back of Shadow Temple.
Yeah. And there's 40 skulls at the mirror shield for Chuckles.
Indeed. First to mirror right at the same time as T defeats Volvagia.
I just looked at the VOD. I do think that they're both small.
Perfect. Dankeschön. And nothing on the manager.
Okay, Back of Shadow is completely dead.
I don't know though. While chat did potentially predict that we would need to go back into Shadow to use the Dins, it's still possible we have the Dins on Bongo itself.
Yes, it is possible.
Also, occurred a little bit ago and didn't want to mention it then, but shoutouts to 2 bottles being in Shadow Temple.
I mean, that officially makes either bottle not path, but yeah, it's still kind of a feels bad moment.
Indeed. And even if they're Wanderer, when they're Wanderer in the same dungeon, that's almost worse than a path because you can't get a path in.
And Kuari, meanwhile, has found his long shot in bottom of the well. And we're going into water. I believe we're gold scaling water today.
Would make sense. Also, apparently Bongo will not have Din's Fire. That appears to be behind 40 Skulls and Mirror Shield locked in Spirit Temple.
Alright then. Just clear progression and you'll find all the items, I guess.
Indeed. And somehow along the way, get your 40 Sculptulus. Will be at a minimum, though, just peace of mind for Chuckles, because now they can not worry about the back of Shadow. They can full clear Shadow.
As soon as he gets that hammer from Fortress, which is the point I'm more worried about.
Indeed.
Yes, you are supposed to get 40 without the boomerang. We do have a bottle technically available, though. We have explosives. We technically have the hover boots. There's a lot more in logic before that mirror shield than we thought.
And I'm not sure what was on Bongo, but I certainly hope it was not the last bomb bag, because there's a bomb bag on 50, if memory serves. So we've seen all three.
Yeah, there's a bomb bag on 50, there's a bomb bag in Goron City, and there was a bomb bag in TCG.
Makes sense. All the bags are easy to mix up with one another. Also, Oak is going back to Fire Arrow entry. Ironically, as T is holding a Dins over their head.
Mm-hmm. But surely he can do it.
Yes.
He was so close the first time.
For sure. Fingers crossed, but have absolute faith.
We are crossing our fingers for all our runners.
Indeed, predicted by chat that Oak would go back, and makes perfect good sense.
Yeah,
Again,
it does make sense.
Again, it looks good to me. Fingers are crossed this time.
Let's go!
Huzzah!
Second time for the win. While Chuckles is fighting Twin Rova and T is about to beat Twin Rova as well.
Indeed.
This is very spiritual.
Three runners doing Fire Arrow entry this seed. Alas, we probably won't be seeing the fourth since T already has Dins.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna do that. Chuckles did it first try.
Indeed. On Restream, our first Fire Arrow entry was on Kuwari's side, I do believe.
Yes.
But as far as in the race room, I have no idea.
And in general, who found it, no idea either.
Indeed.
So, what are we actually missing for Go mode?
Well, let's see what we have here. Do. Not much, for sure. Are we missing
We can
anything?
do Fire, we can do Shadow, we can do Spirit, or we can do Jabu, right?
Yes.
So we're in Go mode?
Indeed, the only requirements are doing them in a specific order, because you can't enter Jabu until you have a Song of Storms, is it?
Yes, Song of Storms. We've seen water already on Chuckle's side. It was a very early boss key. No irons required. Well, logically, of course, but yeah. So, yeah.
And that puts Restream in at least no mode. Chuckles still missing that hammer. Hopefully fixing that. We're calling a horse. Okay. I wasn't 100% sure if Oak was in Go or not, but it makes sense.
Wari doesn't know that he's in Go mode. Because he doesn't know whether Shadow is Dins locked or not.
Indeed. And I suppose the same is true of Oak technically about the Iron Boots?
Yes, technically. He doesn't know it either. Which means we might never find Iron Boots this seed.
Indeed. Hopefully we have a big chest on Validation Chest and inside Ganon's Castle and can speculate and watch all of the runners pass it by.
Oh no, please no. What is T missing?
T does
T is
not have their
missing
long shot.
Yeah, long shot. Though, and we do need either long. Oh, right. Oak needs a
So
long shot or irons as well.
T, unless their tracker is not up to date, has not been to Shadow Temple to get a bottle to start that chain. Fortunately,
Hasn't been to Shadow.
having hover boots, that should be soon rectified.
Yes, and yes, it was long shot in well.
Question here for Chuckles on where he's going, hoping it's towards Fortress.
Fortress would be the right play. That looks like Fortress.
It does.
That makes me very hopeful.
First, Tectite Grotto, I can get behind that. Just come back, Chuckles. Check this for
Just
your sanity, but please come back.
please go back to Fortress, though. I mean, Tectite is a really bad check. I know that a lot of top runners regularly last located.
Indeed.
Well, Soy Sauce, technically we did have a bottle, we just didn't find it because two checks in Shadow just didn't seem worth it, and our hookshot was quite late.
And looks like Chuckles is on the right path. So all of our runners should be quote unquote on rails at this point.
Yes. There's going to be storms for Oak. I mean, Jabu could potentially have our iron boots.
This is possible.
That would be long shot locked. Yeah, there's the immediate nocturne to go well. That makes sense. You push your progression until you're out of progression.
Indeed.
T finding the Rang and the Zora tunic in here.
Always appreciate the good t-shirt. And a bit of a trick here from Chuckles' side, long-shotting the chest from the prison section of the fortress.
Yes. With ESS turns, okay. Nope, we've decided differently.
More than fair, I'll be honest, I only tried to wing that particular method of getting to the chest once, and then said forget it. Also, potentially a good amount of time saved from Chuckles' side, because this is their first trip to GTG, and most of our other runners who found out about the big chest here earlier went ahead and pretty much full cleared GTG.
They did, yeah, I was just about to remark on the same thing. That's gonna be quite a time save.
Indeed.
Full clearing takes like, what, 6 to 10 minutes?
Sounds right to me.
I could not see how many skull score he had.
At a glance, I wanted to say it was near 38, but I could be wrong.
These runners is just so fast.
Yes. And our fourth hammer on restream. No, wait,
Let's
Chuckles,
go.
remember where your hover boots are? Thank you.
35 on Oak. Thank you, Tom. Yeah, it's gonna be a close one. They all have progression left to do. They all mostly know what's happening or what's not happening. So yeah. They're not in go mode yet, but they have direction or know where to go. And that is actual go mode for Chuckles.
Very nice.
Only no mode? Well, he has to pick up storms, but he should be in go mode. Oh, he needs to... Yeah, okay. That's fair. Don't you just love tentacle hitboxes?
They are absolutely the best. I struggled with the green tentacle on my last run, so I can't talk.
Did
But
you
being
know you
able
could
to-
just leave through that door?
Leave through which door? Sorry, I missed it.
Oak killed the tentacle and left before the cutscene played with a chest.
Okay, I did not, to be honest. The tentacles
That's
are weird, though. If you set furores for the green tentacle, you have to wait a specific amount of time for it to fully die as far as the game is concerned. And then you can furore out back to the main room. If you do it too soon, the green tentacle is still there.
Yes. But you don't have to wait until it like dissolves completely.
True.
It already works if it's in chunks on the floor, which sounds really disgusting, but you know.
I mean, we are inside of Jabu Jabu. I think disgusting is a very apt description. No offense to Jabu.
Okay, okay. You generally walk backwards to the door, should give you enough time. Fair, fair. I shall practice that. I mean, it only makes sense if you're in go mode, or at least in no mode in Jabu. Otherwise, you probably want to wait for the chest to spawn. $37 for Oak. And there's a bottle for Chi.
He will need that, although fortunately, deeper in Shadow, they'll find one that's a bit easier to clear.
Yes. And that is completely relatable, Tari. I can imagine I would have probably been the same.
So, what have we seen? We have seen all of Fire, we have seen all of Shadow. Technically, Jabu is new for us, and we could see Iron Boots here, as you noted.
Not if Oak keeps skipping all the checks.
But perhaps on Baronade Heart, perhaps.
True, true. That would be very efficient for him, because then he wouldn't have to go bottom of the well to pick up his long shot.
Also, I have no idea if it was intended, but it did feel like righteous retribution. Oak reflected the Octo projectile and managed to hit it when it jumped up to fire a second one.
Yes. Beautiful timing.
Also a runner after my own heart. Box skip skip is the way.
Yes, agreed. Though box skip is very swaggy, but I have been told that it's only worth it if you hit it first try. So I'm not sure that I ever want to learn it.
I would believe that. I think I also have heard that if you get it second try, it's at least even on timing, so...
Okay.
But I'm not 100%, to be honest. The one tricky thing is, if you do commit to it, you are fully committed after you go. I guess if you have Furores, you could Furores back, but you...
And the number
outside
of
Furore,
times I've seen runners try it more than 3 times for sure, it's just a bit daunting.
agreed. I am envious of those runners who can do it consistently.
Getting Troll Rover and survived, yes. Well done. I'm surprised. Did he not pick up the tunic from DMC?
It's possible. I honestly do not know. But regardless, did not need it.
Yeah, very nice.
And alas, a piece of heart on Baronade's heart.
You might want to do another pause screen. No, that's fair. Could be. Alright. Chuckles is speed running through fire. Now, Chuckles will be able to skip deeper fire, because he's already in go mode. Or no mode. So that'll save him like, what, a minute or 2 on Oak?
Would make sense, and coming down to the wire, I mean, in a race, definitely every minute matters, but particularly with qualifiers, you're racing more often against the clock rather than other runners, so any time you can save is big.
Yes. Here we have Pixel Shot on Restream today. Let's go.
Hope everyone brought their bingo cards for tricks.
We would definitely have lots of bingos tonight.
Indeed.
Oak's going to OGC for a skull. Makes sense if you're skull hunting.
Also gives you that excellent start of night, time of day for any other skulls you wish to collect. And forgot that they don't have light arrows, question mark?
I think so.
I fully admit I have done so myself, so I can't cast any blame there.
Question is, what is he looking for? Is he hoping for long shot or ions in IGC?
And I'm sorry, had to mute myself and step away for a second.
No worries. He does have bottom of the well marked in with the ions, which we know is incorrect, but that's what he suspects.
Makes good sense.
But as far as I'm aware, he's iron boots or long shot from go, is he not?
I believe so, excuse me.
Okay. We'll watch with bated breath. What is T missing? T is missing long shot or iron boots as well. So in the same situation, because Oak and T got their bottles late, Rutos in ice for bottom of the well, yes. Unless they would have found iron boots. So maybe Oak is hoping to be bailed out here. Not having to find technically an item that's not hinted, because Ice could just be a bait major item as well.
Indeed. Also of note, currently no finishers in the race room. We are getting to the point where even longer seeds would have ended by now, and holy big chests in light vial.
Mm-hmm. There's the last bottle. Nice.
And indeed the iron boots, so who
And
needs a
that's a
long shot anyway?
bailout. Let's go. And just as you actually talked about it, we have the first finisher in the race room.
I jinxed it, apologies to our current runners, but GG's.
But yes, that is go mode for Oak as well. So Chuckles and Oak are in go mode. Icola finished in first place with a time of 2:48.15. GG's, well done. Of course he did.
I mean, I'll be honest, I kind of had the same response in my head. Not in any way a bad thing. Icola is an amazing runner, but my goodness, they have won more of these qualifiers.
Yes, they have won a lot. But they are also the reigning champ, if I remember correctly.
Indeed, well earned.
So, not all that much of a surprise, I think.
More than fair. Especially in a seed like this, where you have a lot of execution to run through.
Yes.
Okay, so we have at least 2 runners fully in go mode. I think chat noted that T, while they have the bottle, which would lead them to long shot, and they have strength 3, which if they go to Ganon's will lead them to iron boots, currently do not have either of those to put them in go mode.
Yeah. I think it's very likely that he's going to choose one of those paths next. I can't see him, like, going, like, very much else, because he's full clearing his dungeons that he can do his progression. He's full cleared most of the overworld.
And I was going to say, what even do we have left? Nice clean fight from T Grenadier on Bongo Bongo.
I was just thinking the same thing. Yes, very nice.
And I want to say that, so we know Oak and Chuckles are in go mode. Kawari, as long as they go to Ganon's Castle or to Ice Cavern, will be in go mode. Kawari, I think, is in go mode. Now that they know that Shadow Temple did not require Dins, although they'll find it on the way, potentially.
Yes, he is in go mode. So there's 2 ways to enter water entrance in Logic, which is either hook and irons or gold scale and long shot. And there is a trick that you can do gold scale and just 1 hook shot, so you save on the second long shot basically, which is not the easiest trick to pull off, but it does work.
And my apologies, technically, as noted by chat earlier, I am misspeaking. I am using no mode and go mode interchangeably because runners know that their light arrows are in Death Mountain Crater, the ferry specifically.
Yes. Oak just dropping bombs all over the place.
Well, I mean, just in case someone is following you, good practices. Stay safe.
I'm not sure, but he might be using the bombs as a way to put away his hookshot. Or whatever
Possible.
item he's holding.
It's definitely taken me this long to learn Quick Draw with just the Master Sword and a shield, so I would not be surprised.
And there's so much to learn about this game. I feel like every time I watch a race or watch a runner play a pickup race, I'm just like, wait, you can do that?
100%.
And Chuckle's going through Shadow here. He will be able to skip the back, which Oak had to peek because he's in go mode. But other than that, Shadow really isn't all that go modeable.
Indeed, sadly. Meanwhile, T opening up bottom of the well to be able to do Jabu. And GG's to our second finisher, Marco, followed immediately by our third finisher, Rafa.
Let's go. 4-second snipe.
Bongo down on Kwari's side, just as we're finishing up Twin Rova on Okishi's side.
The BGS makes the boss fight so nice.
Yes. Pretty much any of the fights. I think the only one that I find that it doesn't help with is King Dodongo.
True. I've never compared the damage values on King Dodongo, but when I started playing OTR, I was like, surely we'll be able to one cycle King Dodongo with a BGS, right? Because it's double damage and you usually take 2 jump slashes. Made sense in my head.
But King Dodongo disagrees, and if you believe it strong enough, apparently it is true.
Nah, it's still not happening. I was thinking that Chuckles might be in the lead here on Restream, but Shadow Temple is really long. And we're just about to see Oak enter his last dungeon. I mean, yes, he has to recross, but...
Indeed. Shadow always does take a deceptively long amount of time.
Mm-hmm. Steve Falcon finished in 4th place with a time of 2:56.38. GG's.
Indeed. I want to say that they are still targeting top 32, so very good for them seeing that kind of a score on this seed.
That's definitely going to be a good score, for sure. And Quarry's going Spirit here? Oh yeah, we've marked, we've gotten the Mirror Shield and now need to beat Twin Rova on Quarry's side. That makes sense.
Also, since we've already gone through Shadow and been into Deku, there's really no reason to collect the Dins. We might never be seeing Dins on Kawari's side.
True. I mean, 3 of our runners are never going to see the Iron Boot, so, you know?
This is fair. Chuckle's getting the good news that he can go mode the rest of Shadow.
Yeah. Always love to hear that.
Indeed. A few shield flicks on Okishi's side. I wonder if he's considering whether it was faster to cross the desert versus go through Spirit. To be honest, I'm not 100% sure.
With Longshot, I think going through Spirit would have been faster.
And that's fair, but Okishi does not have Longshot. Okishi has the Iron Boots to show us Water Hop here.
Which is another cool trick, and this is the first season. Like, this trick was just found a few months ago and discovered, so this is actually the first season Water Hop has been allowed.
Also, GG's to our 5th and 6th place finishers, Kola and Chalansui.
GG's. I'm so glad you read those names out, because my French is abysmal.
Well, I'm taking a guess at it, so particularly for Chalansui, assuming I'm pronouncing it correctly, I apologize if I am not.
Yes, the ions from IGC are actually helpful, correct. Though, before the season, I thought Longshot would be more DLC than it actually turned out to be with the DR. What do you think, Nastrio?
Longshot has definitely been more prevalent than I expected, but yeah, nothing else to say about it. I agree.
Okay.
It does have many convenient locations throughout the game, whether it's climbing Spirit, being able to cross the Shadow Temple gap here at the end just before Bongo by using Scarecrow Song, but oftentimes even setting Scarecrow Song can lose you more time than it saves, so it's very seed dependent, and this seed you probably want to set it.
Yes. But we did see on Chuckle's side that you don't need to set it. If you can pull off getting your long shot before going to GGG and hovers, and then pull off pixel shot in fire, more the power to you, you know?
Indeed. And Kola, welcome. The letter was in Ice Cavern.
Ice Cavern. It's the second hint, the second major item together with Serenade in there.
And GG, Sea Falcon. Indeed, there is a chance. Well done. Well played.
GG, Sea Falcon. And we have Flea finishing in 7th place with a time of 3:01:12.
GG's, that will set our par time for the seed with 7 runners finished.
Yes. And we're about to have our first finish on Restream as well. Oak only has the Climb and Ganon left.
Beautiful.
Whereas Chuckles will have to get Storms and play Jabu. Quarry has Jabu left as well, if I remember correctly.
Very well could be. Honestly, I'm trusting their trackers more than my memory.
No, the Irons were in Light Trial.
I believe we had a bomb refill on OGC, but it was certainly nothing exciting. And GG's to Seize, finishing in 8th.
Yes, GG. crazy how suddenly the finishers all keep start like piling in. Just shows how good like the community of runners is in a top runners here.
Sure, and how close knit.
Yes. And you really cursed me with that. We have a validation chest with a big one, and I'm never going to see what's in there.
I do apologize. The good news is it can't be iron boots.
That is true. We found iron boots. I don't know.
I mean, I believe Sea Falcon has not done 8 quals.
Oh, good memory, good memory.
And that was an excellent score. If memory serves, I just checked, and it was about 996, 997 points for Sea Falcon. So definitely a very nice score.
That is a beautiful score for sure. And we have No Pawns finishing in 9th place with a time of 3:03:57. Oh, and Exodus finishing right behind that, 3:04:05.
Gotta love the snipes in a 3-hour long seed.
Yeah, for sure. Suddenly they're all 10 seconds apart from each other. And Tanjo finishing in 11th place. You do that one.
Okay, Andrew finishing in 12th with 3:04:34, another 9-second difference.
Crazy how fast they're just coming in now.
Yes. Fortunately, if you do get sniped, you're racing the clock at this point as far as qualifiers are concerned. It doesn't matter what place you get, it matters your time relative to the par time.
Why is T checking frogs in the rain?
They are still missing Iron Boots or Long Shot. We're hoping that they go to Ganon's Castle or to Ice Cavern, but there's no guarantee of it. From their perspective, both those could be anywhere.
That's fair.
And GG's to Juke, finishing in 13th place. Followed immediately by Wooden Barrel, 10 seconds later in 14th place.
He does have Strength 3, he just hasn't been to IGC yet. And he does have a bottle, but he hasn't been to Ice yet.
But this looks very much like a Ganon's Castle play, so that will rectify the situation.
Yes, for sure. And that was a clean first phase for Ganon.
Indeed. Okishi will be our first runner on Restream to finish Ganon, assuming terrible, terrible things don't happen. I think that's a fairly safe
No, we
assumption.
don't even want to think about that. Nothing's going to
Sure.
happen. But T is entering IGC, so he'll be finding his iron boots just momentarily.
And being able to set furores while you're here is a very nice side benefit of exploring.
True. And that's GG's for our first runner on Restream.
Very, very well played by Okishi, and I think they will be
Yeah.
happy with this score.
I hope so. Finished in 15th place with a time of 3:07:01.
And again, continuing the tradition of snipes, 307.23, we have Maki finishing in 16th. GG's.
And as Oak is doing, remember to show your settings, everyone.
Even if you think you might have done it at the beginning, it doesn't hurt to also do it at the end.
Just do it.
Otherwise, Okishi may be coming for you next. You never know.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting that she didn't go straight for the light trial at first.
It's fair. I'm always worried when I go to light trial first that I won't find a key in light trial. I've since forced myself to do it, but it's always lingering in the back of my mind.
Yeah, that's fair. It is an interesting play, though.
For sure.
And this is the Poe bottle, and this is going to be the Iron Boots. That's going to be... Yeah, I was just about to say, wait, what? Well, that's go mode for T-Grenadiers, so everyone's in go mode. Oh,
Indeed.
at least on Restream.
Also, yes, fancy trick on Chuckle's side that I hadn't seen before, although I'm sure many people here have seen it, I'm just not up to date. Rolling into Big Octo so that he will then move past you, rather than having him hit you and then turn around.
Interesting. I mean, Chuckles did do a lot of speedrunning somewhere in between there, so he did pick up quite a few cool things.
Indeed, and while it's not always the same route like it is, I would presume, in vanilla OOT speedruns, a lot of the tricks, I imagine, are very transferable.
And
Also,
we're joined by Oishi. GG's.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
GG's.
How do you feel?
That sucked.
At least long seeds are good for points? Question mark.
It still sucked. Nah, it's okay.
You want to tell us what in particular sucked? Because I can think of a few things.
Yeah, there's so many things in the seed. I mean, I caught on to the bomb bag pretty quickly, but I also skipped like a couple checks in CAC, and I was like, crap, I gotta go back. I totally forgot about those. So then not really last locating, I still had Valley, but getting the hookshot super late, what felt super late.
You were actually second on Restream to get your hookshot.
I mean, like, you just get that hook and then you just go. There's just a lot of, you're always going to be hypercritical on yourself a lot. When I went to Child Domain, I meant to start setting up Scarecrow after doing Child Domain and completely forgot about it. And that was really just the theme of the seed for me throughout this seed, is just kind of forgetting the end of the route that I planned on doing, and then having to go back and double back, forgetting the light arrows. I wanted to go into Ganon's castle and get that skull, but forgot the light arrows. Had to go back and get them, and then head on back. So I feel like there's quite a bit of time to make up. Where was Rudo's letter?
Blue, if you want to.
Letter is in ice.
Okay.
BFAs are on King Zora.
Okay.
And Longshot is in bottom of the well.
That makes sense. Okay. Yeah, getting the irons in Ganon's castle, you're like, oh, it's actually Longshot, and you need Longshot and gold scale to actually get in the fire. So
Yes, that was the fire path. So we knew ions were somewhere behind Longshot or behind Fire Temple.
okay, that makes sense. I don't know. I mean, yeah, these seeds are good for points. And I needed some points. I needed some points today, so I'm okay. I'm okay with a seed like this.
And looking at the standings right now, you are right on the edge. You are currently ranked 31st at 3,700 points even, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's a couple people that are probably going to bump that, and that's okay. My goal this season was a high CC seed, and it looks like I'm going to be able to achieve that, so I'm pretty happy with that result.
You have definitely achieved that.
For sure. At a minimum.
Yeah.
And jury's still open. 2 races left, and agreed there are still some crazy good runners to finish, but you never know.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, it's been fun. I've never been able to play as many qualifiers before. Like last year, I think the max I could do was 4 or 5. And this year, actually being able to do 8 of them was really nice. I was actually supposed to do the one on Monday, and because of my 2-year-old, she was in such a bad mood, and I just didn't feel right actually racing while she was in such a bad mood. So I decided to skip it and choose today, and looks like, honestly, I think I'd take this seat over the seat on Monday. So
Then
Yeah,
huzzah
that's
for
fair.
small blessing. Also, small side note, Blue, you can relax. I did curse it, but Chuckles fixed it for me. We found out that it was a
Yes.
paperweight on Validation Chest.
Let's go. Thank you, Chuckles.
well, I do have to go to work, unfortunately. So
Well,
will.
good luck
Thank
with
you for
work,
letting us
and thank
have
you for letting us restream you.
Thank you guys. You guys are awesome.
And also, best of luck. Sorry, I was late.
Too late.
I still mean it.
Maybe he'll
Because
be able to still hear it on restream or something.
Indeed, and while qualifiers may be over for Okishi, I don't know if they are partaking in extra or not. Some runners do, some runners don't. They sounds like they
he was
will be
planning on it.
partaking in either tournament that they do qualify for.
Yes. It's gonna be so exciting. Well, Qual's ending does mean, of course, there's a lot of people who do not get to play anymore because they might not have made Challenge Cup or main tournament. It does also mean that we have some very, very exciting matches in groups and brackets coming up. So definitely watch out for that.
Indeed, top 32 in main tournament, and not to be outdone, the following 64, 33rd through 96th in Challenge Cup, both will have very exciting matches because top 32, amazing runners each and every one, and then honestly, we have so many amazing runners, we couldn't fit them all in, so they're overflowing into Challenge Cup.
Yep. And there are quite a few big names in Challenge Cup as well. So definitely check out both tournaments. It's going to be amazing. Speaking of amazing, we have 2 runners going up to fight. Well, Chuckle's already done with Dwarf. Will be finished just slightly ahead of Quarry, who is just now going into the Dwarf fight. And he is basically right behind them.
Indeed, all 3 runners in Ganon's Castle, or equivalently Ganon's Castle. I suppose that on Chuckle's side, Ganon's Castle no longer exists, but we're in the right location at least.
It's fun. Maybe we'll have them all in voice chat here with us in a second.
Indeed. Clean first phase from Chuckles, no surprise.
Very nice. these are the last steps. And then we'll be able to see it.
But in the meantime, if you have any questions for our runners, should they join us for an interview, do think of them and get them ready, because hopefully we will be joined by at least one, perhaps several of them.
It would be nice to have them in here. I always love to have like a small debrief, sometimes let them know about logic that they might not have gotten to. It's awesome.
For sure. And in the meantime, get your GGs ready, because here's Oak finishing. Or not Oak. Oak already finished.
Here's Chuckles finishing with a time of 3:18:32, 20th place. Honestly, with that many people in the race room, there were 57 entrants and 15 forfeits. 20th place is still really good.
For sure. And especially since the main thing that I imagine most runners are looking at are the points. Still a very good amount of points.
Mm-hmm. I actually need to pull up the points sheet.
Honestly, I was doing the same thing myself, and it looks like Chuckles just got about 872 points.
Okay. $870 isn't bad.
Indeed. It will be taking their third best result spot.
Nice. And does have 3,473 points overall. But Chuckles still has one more race to race if he chooses to. So we'll see where that places him.
Indeed. With their top result and their fifth result, they could get about an extra 80 points out of it, pushing them up to 3553.
Yes. And hi, Mr. Alex GG. Ions were in light trial. Validation chest had the Stone of Agony. And GG's to Kuari, finishing with a time of 3:20:17.
GG's indeed. Also, welcome.
Welcome and GG's Chuckles. How are you?
Hi. That was entertaining. Everybody.
It was for sure.
We greatly appreciated you opening Validation Chest. I might have jinxed it that it was going to linger in the back of Blue's mind for forever.
No,
yes.
I purposely did that for restream. Like I took the 5-second time loss just for the restream. So.
And welcome and GG's Kuari.
GG's. Before I ask about where certain items are, I just want to say, screw that hook shot.
So it's kind of funny. Chuckles, who's in here with us, who finished just ahead of you, actually was the first on Restream to find that hook shot.
Which one was that? Really? The one in
the Spirit Temple hook shot.
Yeah, that was the crater strength to Morpher has to be the strength too. So I think the hook shot is kind of easy being there.
So you don't know that, and Kuari doesn't either, but iron boots are in light trial.
Okay. Yeah, I
no
kind of
need to worry whether it's second or third or first or whatever, but yeah.
Yeah, so that works that out, doesn't it? Yeah. Yeah. I kind of assumed that would be in there, like the Welter Volve being the long shot. Like in my head, I was like, this could be the iron boots, the long shot, or the hammer, and I don't care whatever it is because it means I can beat a dungeon, whatever the item is. And then I was kind of being like, oh, what if the hammer is in the well? But then I thought, no, it's going to be like long shot to get into the water temple because the fire temple locks the iron boots. So I was glad I didn't get baited into water temple. That would have made me even more upset.
And sorry to interrupt, GG's to T Grenadier, who's finishing in 24th place with a time of 3:22:28.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
And thank you to all of our runners for finishing so close together.
Yeah, that made a really interesting finish for you guys.
Mhm.
And thank you for pulling off a FAE, both of you. That was amazing to see.
Yeah, it only
Yes.
took me like 4 tries.
Nah, you got it first try. I don't remember any other tries.
Well, it took me 1 try, but it doesn't matter because something else in Graveyard took me 5 times, and that was really frustrating for me.
You did all of you did everything first try. And welcome in GG's T.
Hello.
Hi T.
GG's, guys. Oh boy.
So,
I
on
can't
that
believe
note,
you're on
Great
restream,
to
T.
ever
to
find
add the
Dins?
qualifiers for me.
Dins was mirror locked in spirit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was kind of a brutal. If you didn't do FAE, like you weren't getting into Deku Tree until you got the 40 scores. But I don't know how much it really would have hindered you in the end. I was, a part of me was thinking that the long shot path could be that Twin Rover or something has the hammer. So I like proper bum rush to get in 40 at one point because I was on like 32. And then getting that 40 and then seeing the Dins there, I was like, oh, okay. Move on.
Oh, I
Yeah,
never saw
most
that.
of you had either trouble with the first hook shot or the hammer on Garuda Fortress roof. Because even though you didn't do that, Chuckles, all 3 other runners cleared GTG first and then had to come back with a hook shot
Hey, I
to
didn't
get the
clear
roof.
GTG.
So
I only got the slingshot.
you won't. Okay.
Yeah, that felt like a benefit me not doing GTG, but I was kind of upset that I had to go into the desert at all because I got the fire arrows. I was on the way to GTG and I got the fire arrows, and I was like, "Oh, I'm getting Deku."
And you were making us hold our breath, Chuckles, because you were the only one without hammer for a bit, and it was like, okay, you will make it there, yes, please.
Yeah.
And then you went from lake to Tektite, and we're like, turn around, you need to go to Fortress.
yeah. Because when I got to that point where I got the fire arrows, I literally only had like field and GTG left, and then I got the fire arrows, and I kept on like getting more stuff to do. So like, and then an hour and a half later, I'm like, right now I'll go to GTG.
Yeah, I went to GTG before Spirit.
I did think that. I did DC, and then I was like, no. I did Child Spirit actually. Oh my god, I almost forfeited. So if there wasn't choose in Child Spirit, I was forfeiting. I was so angry, like that.
I had
forgot
one
that I
shot
needed
left
bombs.
on that wall.
Oh, by the way, did you guys enjoy the Oh My God?
The what?
Oh my god.
When I crashed?
Oh.
Oh, you
Oh
crashed?
yeah. That was a bit of a breathless moment.
Like proper crash, or?
Oh yeah, it was the respawn crash.
But thankfully you've just saved before and save quit, so
Oh yeah, that crash only happens upon either a save reset or a death save. So that's why I knew I was fine.
Is this a paradox ladder seed?
No, so actually your
can be.
BFAs are on King Zora.
Oh my fucking.
And Gerudo's letter is an ice.
Okay. Yeah, I was debating if I go to Ganon's or domain.
Wait. You did the seed without getting the long shot?
Yeah.
Yes, water hop.
Where's the iron boots?
Light trial.
Light trial.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. That's pretty funny.
Like, I got my first bottle like 2.5 hours in.
I know. Yeah.
So I was like, well, whatever.
Yeah,
well, I got the big Poe one, handed the big Poe in.
Poe bottle. I don't even remember where that was. I just remember
that was in Shadow Temple Hover Boots chest.
Right, it was Dead Hand. Shadow Dead Hand. Yeah.
Oh, that's
For
so funny.
that
You
being
didn't do the
the
well.
first and only available bottle.
Technically, it's not the only available bottle because the hammer got you the hovers, which got you a bottle at the end of Shadow as well.
Yeah.
I didn't care at that point. I was in go mode.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
yeah,
so
but
funny.
technically,
I was in go mode.
I mean, technically, Ganon's is open before that too, and
we
there's
played
a
the
bottle
seed
in
so
Nitro,
differently, it feels like. Sweet.
So
He didn't do the well. That's so funny. I think that's brilliant. That's so great. I love that.
yeah, Oak didn't either. So we had 2 runners with long shot and 2 runners with iron boots. It was pretty interesting.
That's quite fun, actually. I wonder. I was actually surprised people weren't done sooner. I know E-Color was in 248, but after that, like 254, like that's I don't know. I felt like I sucked. Like my routing was awful, especially my early game. So I kind of assumed that people would have been done like early 240s.
to be fair, the seed just sucked
right for
early
this
game.
seed.
Just got absolutely. You get the strength, the Kokiri sword, and that's basically it for.
There are choosing the open grotto and river.
Yeah.
Total of 5 of them.
That's the 5.
But if you're a good player, you can use those well.
And T did, but eventually a bomb bag was kind of needed, and that held you a little bit back. But you still did really well despite that.
I mean, technically, the bomb bag wasn't needed.
No, you could have done it with choose, and there was a wallet, and I just wonder if there's a world if you like get the lens bomb bag like really early, like
yeah, that's what I was thinking because
start a child too
lens
early.
and magic are super early.
Yeah, I was really annoyed with myself with my CAC route and doing it from the front and not from the back, and I was like, shit, I could have gone up the mountain if I did it the other way around.
I did it. I did DMT as child, so I turned it into night, got the 5 skulls in CAC, and did like the open grotto in CAC as child.
Yeah.
That way I didn't. Got like the
Your ideal situation was definitely either doing treasure chest game early or using one of your first 5 chews on Hot Rod or Goron and getting an
out bomb. And I did think that, and it's just like, how do you kind of work that way around? Like, I think that
who would go as a child into river, get the chicken, go back up.
Yeah.
Then go to Goron, see like it's.
Yeah, I was kind of eager to go into Graveyard because Graveyard was path to Goma, and I was like, because my plan was to just go to Lon Lon and then just be like Lon Lon Market done, Child 1 done, and then when I saw the Graveyard thing, I was like, oh
yeah, and just for a bow.
Yeah, just for the Saris, for the bow, crazy.
Yeah.
And it's always great fun when you find out you need 40 skulls early and Sun Song is nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
And no bottle, no rang.
No bottle, no rang.
I mean,
no hook shot at the beginning.
No hook shot. That was the killer though. No hook shot. No suns, whatever. No bottle.
I did foolish forest first just to get more skulls.
Yeah, same. That was actually one of the reasons I went to ice as well, because I wanted. So you didn't do ice for the letter?
No. I couldn't do it, and once I had
you skip the well and ice, and I beat you, and I did compose as
I did
child 5
twice
times
on Ganondorf, so.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
I definitely had like a dip in execution quality at like the 2-hour mark. I was like,
And I think I was the opposite. Like, I did FAE in one go, and I was like, that's it. I'm on fire now. I'm ready. I'm doing it. I was so pumped after that.
Yeah, I mean, FAE was never an option for me. I just refuse.
No, agreed.
To learn.
I think it
also would have those chuckles. You were the only runner we saw on Restream that has a perfect batting average for FAE. Well done.
Yes.
This is the only seed I've played where it actually was even applicable.
Yeah, same.
Yes.
The only
Like,
qual that I've seen
where it
so
was
far where
actually
it's been.
useful.
Mm.
And even then, it wasn't
I think there was one other
really
seed.
that useful.
I think there might have been
No.
one other seed where you could have done it.
That's probably one of the NA.
It was
NA
early.
ones.
It was early. I remember that.
Yeah, the only thing you got out of there was the Rang, and that was the last. I'm guessing that was the last dungeon everyone did. Maybe not, actually.
My last dungeon was water.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, because you got the Iron Boots. If your Iron Boots is the go mode, then that's your...
Yep, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, quick water. That was fun.
But thank you for letting us restream you. Do you have any questions for us?
What's your
questions were answered?
What's your favorite cheese?
Personally, I'm partial to Munster, but I'm not sure if it's my favorite.
No, I barely paid attention. I barely paid attention to the logic of the seed. I was just like, the path hints were there. They probably led you to places. I probably wasn't really paying attention to them as much as probably what I should be doing, but they were kind of boring.
Do you dare toss a dwarf?
And the good news, I think all of you were able to improve your total qualifier points via this seed. So congrats on that.
Let's go.
Yeah, I needed a Hail Mary seed for this one, though, to even have a chance at top 32, and that didn't happen. Not even a 900.
Sorry to hear that.
Oh shit!
I'm still beating T, so that's cool.
It's okay. I'll just kill it in CC groups and get knocked down the first round again.
Yeah, that's just like part of the course, isn't it? Like,
that's been my experience in Challenge Cup too. So I'll join you.
I normally just
groups lose 1-3 and then bye bye.
Honestly,
first round of see you next year.
Kill the group.
We will be rooting for you to hopefully last longer than that, regardless of which tournament you end up in.
I'm just happy that we can play 1v1 soon. I hate qualifiers.
Yeah.
You know what improved my enjoyment of the qualifier is just not opening race time at all.
And I've done that the last 2 races, and yeah, you're right.
It makes it so much nicer. You just play your own game. You don't meta game. You don't see, oh god, they've been done for an hour, and you feel terrible. Unless you recall, then you can look all you want because you're always gonna win.
That's so crazy, isn't it? And he won by like 6 minutes this seed as well. Like if he wasn't in this race, the average would be so much better. But alas.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. I'm gonna head out.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us, and GG's.
Cheers, y'all. Thanks for the restream.
Yep. I gotta head out too. I got a movie to catch.
Have
Sounds
fun.
good. Enjoy the 2 Towers, was it? One of the Lord of the Rings movies.
2 Towers.
Perfect. Very much enjoy. And I think baseball, that more or less wraps anything up, unless anyone has anything.
I didn't see any questions, so I think so.
Okay. Congratulations to Appalled, who finished in 40,000th place with a time of 48 hours.
That is incredible, considering we have like 57 entrants.
Are they a Time Lord?
That just made me laugh a lot because it's like same. Like me too.
Yeah, these runners are incredible. Like
it's crazy. It's crazy. I know it's like unbelievable to me to finish all dungeons in under 3 hours. Yeah, people are really good at this game. The tournaments are going to be very exciting, both of them. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm also looking forward to being done with quals because it's been a long month. We got 2 more. 2 more. We're so close. Next one is Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern. So it might not be Saturday for you, but it's Saturday for me.
Europe time, I
And-
want to say 10 p.m. Eastern is around 4 a.m. CET.
Yeah, so get excited, Europe about Qual 19. I don't know if I'll be there. I probably will. And then the last qual is Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern. And then we're done, people. We're done. And we can move on. And I'm very excited, if you can't tell. Yeah, that's it. Thanks everyone for watching. I really appreciate all the effort that goes into getting these streams on. Truly, it means a lot to me. So thanks, Comms, Nastriel, Blue Roses. Literally could not do this without you. So thank you both for being here. And our trackers, of course, who are wonderful and amazing. Yin, Tomaltalk, Siberian, Lady Draco, thank you so much. I didn't have to track today.
You for 1 second?
Yes.
Both. The last qualifier is going to be on Saturday, not on Sunday.
Am I insane?
I do think it's Friday for the Americas.
It's
for
Friday
the
and Saturday?
It's Friday and Saturday, yes.
Okay, that was like, I didn't even really look. I just assumed.
Because they're
That it
both
was
Saturday
Saturday,
for
Sunday.
me, 4 a.m. and 8 p.m.
That's crazy. I just assumed that it was going to be weekly. I literally was like, the 30th must be Saturday. Okay, January 30th at 10 p.m. Eastern. And January 31st at 2 p.m. Eastern. Look in the Discord. There's timestamps. Don't listen to me. I've been doing this for too long. Yes. Thank you.
Sorry.
No, I'm losing my mind. Truly. Quals need to be over. I need a break. That's what that means. I have done too
You know
many.
that groups are going to start.
That's
We'll be
different.
busier than ever, right?
That's different.
I mean,
Sure.
baseball, considering our restreamed runners, if we just end quals now, Okishi makes top 32, so you might be on to something.
You know what? Let's do it. Oak, get in there.
Let's go.
Honestly, if anyone wants to look into my mind, the qualifiers are more stressful for me because I pick all the runners to go on restream. In 1v1s, I don't have that problem. It's already set up, you know? So, it's easy for me.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I spend a lot of time thinking about who to put on restream. But yes, please volunteer. We need help. I need help, clearly. Save me from my own mind. What am I even doing? And thank you to our runners. T, Chuckles, Oak, and Kawari. This was great. Thank you all for being on Restream. You're all wonderful. Yes, that's it. That's my spiel. Okay. Yes, we need lots of help all the time. Please volunteer. I've done too much.
Thank you for doing too much, as always, putting Restream together. We really do appreciate it. Even if we are turning you slightly crazy, we do love you still.
I'm literally going crazy. It's been it's gonna be fine. A few more days. Okay. We're raiding over to Cinny, who's playing Spirit Tracks for the first time. So if you spoil it for Cinny, I will find you and I will be mad. So don't spoil it. Thanks. We love Cinny here, so enjoy. And we'll see you at some point in the future for Qual 19. I don't know when that is, clearly. So
Friday or Saturday, depending on your time zone.
Okay. See y'all. Bye.